Fuck, I already clicked it. Folks, we are live. It is hockey night in Scottsdale. I hope my goddamn mic is working. It just took 45 minutes to set this thing up. I don't even know what's going on here yet, Swish. Hopefully people can fucking hear us the stream here, but it looks like we've only had Toronto and Washington on the screen the whole time. But also, I haven't been paying attention.
No, we were absolutely grinding our way through some technical difficulties, but the boys are live here. Hockey night in Scottsdale. Oh my God. Did that hit him in the face?
Kuznetsov.
Holy shit. He almost went fucking Bob Lee Swagger, John Wilkes Booth, and took out a defenseman. There's that Jake McCabe. He just took on his head. But again, live here from Scottsdale, Arizona. Tuesday night hockey. We got the face-off frenzy, or the frozen frenzy, they're calling it. Been watching a little bit, Bob, as we were kind of grinding our way through those technical difficulties. But we got 4 Cobb here, Toronto versus Washington. Almost at the end of the second frame, Washington on the power play. Let's see what's going here. Besides Kuznetsov, absolutely headhunting.
I don't know if that hit the guy or it almost hit the guy, but he almost murdered someone live on ESPN.
It looked like he dropped. What a soak by Gio there, the veteran on veteran, taking a Ovechkin 1T to the side of the leg. I mean, if you're 40 years old still wearing Ovechkin one-timers, you truly love the game. I don't care what they're paying you.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd do that for any amount of money. It's just not worth it.
How did that not go in? Pass it. Yep, that's a goal.
Oh, absolute tap-in.
That was a sick play by Carlson. The whole building knew it was going to Ovi in front there, but he still froze the goalie and slid it on the Darryl side door, the old back door, and Ovi, well, he tapped it in right on the river.
Remember when people were like, "Oh, is Ovechkin going to catch Gretzky? Is he going to catch?" I never had a doubt. I was like, "Yeah, this guy." I mean, people are like, "Oh, he's 36." First of all, he's Russian, which means he definitely faked his passport with the old passport trick. He's probably 43 realistically, and
right.
I mean, the guy's got a cannon. He doesn't have to skate. Like, what makes you think that he's not going to catch Gretzky?
Yeah, I mean, the guy like played in a professional soccer game like 3 or 4 years ago for Moscow Dynamo, and he was like laying guys out. Like, this guy's a world-class athlete, and he's Russian, so you know he has the gas in him. You know he's got some sort of secret vitamin stash or doping kind of regiment along to go on. He's just a physical specimen. So, yeah. Ovi, there was never a doubt. As long as he stayed healthy, this guy, he still might get 1,000 goals. I don't know, like, is he a top? If he sets the goal record, is he a top 5 player of all time? It's hard to argue that he wouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, when you talk about who's a top player, who's not a top player, there's just so much go into it. Like, some guys are great skaters, some are great scorers. At the end of the friggin' day, I think the top player is the guy who does the most for his team, and I think Ovechkin does that, and he just had his 300th career power play goal, which is an NHL record. So I don't know what they're going to do here. I haven't seen anything with the frenzy that's different yet, but
I haven't really either. I mean, they've gone to the panel a bunch. They've gone to Bucci a little bit. What is the frenzy? What are we watching here? It's not
to the game,
right? I haven't seen a whole lot of them mimicking what NFL Red Zone is. It's just kind of been a lot of panel work, a little bit of showing the game. Is there not? There's got to be more games on.
We don't want to see there's a bunch of games. There's Sabres and Senators. Oh, they're at intermission. We got Hurricanes, Lightning with 4 minutes left in the first. Devils, Canadians with 11 minutes left in the first. We got Stars, Penguins kicking off. We don't want to see the panel. That's why it sounds hypocritical because we're Hockey Night in Scottsdale right now. But get the panel out of here. Like, I want to watch hockey. I want to see people play hockey.
Yeah, we don't need to see people talk about hockey. We need to see actual live action when you see the frenzy. And now they're telling us that the second period starts in 17 minutes. I know. Thanks, Tips. That just happened. They went to break right there. So I don't know what's going on here. What are we on the right channel here? I want to say we are, but who knows?
We got the comments. Beijing Games in the comments said they've been doing a decent job so far switching to live games. I don't know. Maybe we're like Jordo said, we are battling through technical difficulties just to get on right now. We've been here for 45 minutes just going check. But I haven't seen them switch the games around.
No, I haven't either. And we've seen just this little bit of this Maple Leafs game. You know, obviously Poppy there, 34 with a nice tuck on the power play for Mitchie Marner. He fucking laid that right in the wheelhouse, right on the tee, right on the junior tees, as I would say. And It's 34 is not going to miss from that spot more often than, more times than not, because he's just got an absolute cannon on him. Like I call it, a piss rocket. So
Yeah.
that was nice to see. That guy, I'm hoping if he stays healthy, last year a little bit of a wrist injury. I think, he's a guy that could have 70 goals if he plays 82 games. He's that good.
Who, 34?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the second, you see him wind up right there, and you're sorry, got 10. The goalie doesn't have a chance. I mean, if I'm a goalie in the NHL, I'd almost argue to the NHL that to appeal that from my GAA stats, because it's just not fair at this point.
How do I get to this goddamn live stream?
Twitch.tv/
Yeah, that is it, though.
Is it?
Oh,
Are you double slashed in there? Yeah, the amount of technical. This is just a part of media. We're just battling with all the technical difficulties.
Folks, we are live in the chat. Chirp at us, get at us. What it is. And it is hockey night in Scottsdale. Frozen frenzy. The first time the NHL and ESPN is putting apart something like this, trying to mimic what we like to call NFL Red Zone. I haven't seen a whole lot of action, but
this just in. I don't mean to interrupt, but we are on the wrong channel. It appears. We are on ESPN, but we need the ESPN Plus version.
Gotcha. Okay, folks. Sorry.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt, Switch, but thank you, Beijing Game.
I was going to say, I thought we might have been on the wrong thing. And again, we've been absolutely mucking our way through this frenzy. Talk about a frenzy here in Scottsdale. Jiminy Christmas, shaking off a 4-day bender in Grand Forks, and we're right back into the jaw of things here. So, folks, stay with us. Here is the NHL Frozen Frenzy. And you love to see we got the Carolina Hurricanes now versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. A minute left in this period. Knotted up at zeros. Two good teams here, though.
Yeah, the Battle of the Southeast.
Aho's nasty little backhand saucer. I love this Marty Nashis kid as well, number 88 on the Carolina Hurricanes. I think he's a great skilled player.
Sick.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Alice Hemsky back in the day. Remember that fellow over in Edmonton? He had a lethal toe drag, six snapper. He's a guy that kind of, reminds me of a young Marty Nashis.
Yeah, he's nasty. The way he could just kind of dipsy doodle through the ice. And I think he's got some size to him, too. A little lanky, but he's got
deceiving size for sure. Yeah, I don't know his actual height and weight on the depth chart, but he's going to be at least 6'1", no?
I think he's a sneaky, rangy forward out there, all in. But we got a power play here for Carolina. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Remember that? Trip Tracy. Oh, Edmund squeaks one through somehow. That's just a goal scorer's goal at this point. Nah, it's Braden Point. So, what do you think about Braden Point? Would you ever call him underrated? People have said, he's underrated. Guy came in scoring goals. What do you think?
Yeah, underrated, maybe not as advertised as some superstars, but this guy's a bona fide star. Almost 100 points last year. He had 50-plus goals. He's a guy that can do it any way you want. Good kid. I think he played for the Moose Jaw Warriors growing up in the Western Hockey League. I love his game. Can you call him underrated when he's making 9 and a hook? Probably not, but he's definitely less advertised or marketable as a guy that kind of goes under the radar versus other, true superstars. Because to me, if I'm going Braden Point or Mitchie Marner, two great hockey players, I think I'd give the edge to Point just because he's got a little bit more sandpaper to his game. He's a great player, man.
He's got that Calgary type of, because I believe he's an Alberta kid. I believe. I could be wrong.
Yep. Alberta or Sask, one of the two.
I think he's a Western Canada kid, and you got that grip, you're that grit. You're picking up bays of hails of bay all day, and you're doing fucking farm shit. So I feel like I give him the plus in the postseason or the advantage. Sorry, I can't talk right now.
Yeah, he's a great player. A guy that's proven winner. A guy that he's a foxhole guy, someone that you win with, you can build around. And yeah, he might lack a little size, but man, he's got a lot of heart. He's a guy that's not scared to play inside the corners, a heavy game, below the goal line. So Pointer, the way he skates too when he's healthy is he glides really well. I think that kind of separates him from, guys maybe that have a little bit more size or length than him.
Yeah, as we close out the first period here, is my mic still echoey? Someone in the chat says echoey. Might just be echoing through my big ass teeth. But
as we flip it over to New Jersey and the Montreal Canadiens, oh my God, who went down on it with a sniper there? Who's number 8? Is that Mike Matheson? Holy jumping! That was he got taken out by John Wilkes Booth from the top row there. Jiminy Christmas. That always sucks when you lose an edge like that. Especially as a defenseman. Like forwards, you got a line of defense and a goalie. That happens to you as a D-man, you're fucked. And it's just usually ends up being an odd man rush like so or in the back of the net. Oh, man. You got to blame the trainer there, too, with just a toe pick by Matheson, a little slide over by Palat.
Check. All right, I think we got it. So what happened here? Wow, what a save! I missed that.
Matheson he hit the deck and hit the wet deck, and I don't know. He must have had some clear tape on the bottom of his skates and went down. And Palat rang the bell, or the goalie actually might have made the save. I think he might have got that piece of rubber on that. So that was a great save.
Speaking of wet deck, when's the last time you went to the wet deck at the W?
Shout out the wet deck in Scottsdale, Arizona, second floor pool. It's been a while. I think they had a wet at night there probably about 3 months ago, but the actual deck and like gone to a pool party, man, it's been a couple of years. I won't lie.
Talk about chicks that have them just bolted on. This episode
couple sets of fun bags, as I like to call them.
This Hockey Night in Scottsdale is brought to you by the W Wet Deck. If you like chicks that just have a absolute balcony, head over to the Wet Deck. Use code Hockey Night in Scottsdale for 0% off. We flip over here to Dallas and Pittsburgh, and we're not really sponsored by the W. I don't know why I said that. Dallas and Pittsburgh getting going here. Now, this is a match that I'm just not interested in, and I'm not going to lie. Something about these two teams playing each other, it just doesn't get me out of bed. Nice giveaway there by
Dallas, Pittsburgh. Who we got coming down the right wall there? Who's number 53? Is that young Wyatt Johnston kid? Or yep, I believe it is. Decent little player there. I believe he lived with Joe Pavelski last year, so he's kind of trying to implement himself into that lineup in the end of the league. Jamie Benn, one of the sickest tape jobs in the league. 2 strips down the cock, right down the middle of the blade. How are you? That's all I need on my stick. Keep the change. I love that Jamie Benn tape job. Just 2 strips of white right in the middle, little spray paint, dust it off, get out there. I don't need any tape. I'm just too good.
Quick turn off the echo cancellation, he said.
Mine's on.
I think he said turn it off. Oh, try turn that echo. Oh, back on. Yeah. How bad? What the fuck? What'd you do? Oh, no tape. One time in the shitty junior league I played in, I went out with my whole blade taped clear with clear tape, and I got healthy for it.
That's pretty nasty, though.
Yeah, they said I wasn't.
Some guys were weirdly like they would add the clear tape on top of their normal tape, which I thought it was always weird. Like they like the tape on the first layer, then they go second layer, like a 7-layer dip, and put clear tape on top of that. Yeah, because they felt like the puck would, kind of roll off a little different. I don't know. I mean, it was different strokes for different folks, but I never really got that.
Look at this crowd in Pittsburgh tonight. Holy shit. No, it's kind of packed.
Yeah, it's the frenzy, right? There's a couple open seats, but, Steel Town, oh, my God, someone got buried in the right corner, and they cut to the frenzy. They cut to the big board.
All right, I'm out on my phone. I just want to let people know I'm trying to see if our volume sounds good. Hello, check. Sounds good.
93-1.
All right, folks.
Folks, live from the nation's capital, beautiful Ottawa, Ontario. Fellas are on the power play. Jake Sanderson whiffs on a muffin here. Jordan Greenway streaks down the ball as there's a 2-man advantage with about 10 seconds left in the second frame. Just started here, 19 minutes and counting.
Buffalo's a team that's got to bounce back tonight. I mean, after losing last night to Montreal, they blew a lead. You got Caulfield who tucked one. You just want to get back out there, and especially during the frenzy, all eyes are on you. The entire country, nobody's watching the NBA right now. No one's watching the Diamondbacks game. They're watching the Buffalo Sabres game. Not really, but.
Absolutely. And for the good people at Wall Street, as we cut to Bucci and Weeksy,
why do they keep doing
Frozen Frenzy with John Buccigross and Kevin Weeks.
Go to the games.
Now let's go to a match here. I mean, we get it. There's a lot of games on, but you would think like they would have like 4 kind of views like this, like the month we could watch 2 games at once, maybe even 4, kind of like a little quadrant. So you can kind of see what's going on. I mean, I don't mind this with 2 games on right here. Over the New Jersey Montreal game. There's a lot of action Jackson going here, but just not a lot of steady flow. Who just tucked one here?
Who is that? Number
Mercer?
10 on the Devils? Number 10? I don't know who
Isn't
that
that
is.
Dawson Mercer?
Is it? I thought he wore 20 something.
Oh no, it's not. Who is that?
Holtz?
Holtz.
Who the hell?
Check the game notes there. Holtzy fellow slides one past Primo, little SWAT. His old SWAT team there.
They need somebody on the
Holtz, former top 10 pick. Well, that one kind of slid by us. Last time I went to Scottsdale, I pissed my pants and had to throw my jeans off my hotel balcony. Oh, that could happen to anyone that's down. You just hit it really hard.
All right, back over to Dallas, Pittsburgh, where nothing's really going on. Kind of just lulling me to sleep here every time this game comes on. I feel like I got to shut my eyes, but let's see if Jake Gensel.
The old frozen frenzy. We got a little 4-on-4 jab. Oh,
let's see.
Gensel with a nice little try in a grade A area right in front of the cage, just on top of the blue paint. Who passed that? Well, best player in the world, number 87, Sidney Crosby. Hiro Heiskanen, great player, Finnish kid, played for the IFK Helsinki pro team in Liga before he made the cross over this side of the pond. I think he's a guy that could maybe win a Norris one day. He's that good.
Really?
Yeah. Skates like the wind. Yeah, I would keep an eye on him. I don't know if he's ever really going to be like a 70-point guy, maybe a 70, maybe not 80, but if he can get to like 60, 70 points, have a really good plus minus, the way he defends and closes, I think he's Norris worthy. He's that good.
All right, now they're flipping back here to the Buffalo-Ottawa game, and see the way Crosby just shook off Heiskanen like that? Like,
I know.
pretty unbelievable. I mean, Heiskanen's not
that is crazy. I just hope a team like Ottawa, because they seem like they have such good juju with each other just in terms of like team chem. And I think it starts with their captain, obviously, and Brady Tkachuk. But like you can tell for a mid-market team that these guys truly love playing for their city and they love the boys, which I think is so cool. And so I'm hoping they're able to make a little bit of noise this year, hopefully make the playoffs, because you root for teams like that or guys that are willing to take on long-term deals. Yes, they got tickets, but still at the same time, when you commit to a city like Ottawa, a lot of these guys run away. Pierre-Luc Dubois running away from Columbus and then Winnipeg. These guys are like, no, fuck this. I love the fellas. We have a good time on the road. Let's fucking do this.
Yeah, and they got that good like young group or guys, and I think a part of winning cups is having guys that are single on the team, just
100%.
to keep things spicy. If you're an older guy on the team and you're married, maybe you can live vicariously through the young guys. And I think they got a good group of bachelors on that team that just keep the energy alive, because sometimes you need those young guns to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly the Bachelor in Paradise, right, when they're in Ottawa, but I think, especially when they can hit it on the road, even if you just have guys that with girlfriends and not family, right, I think that really, especially with an up-and-coming team, that is huge. And most of the time those teams are young, but I think they have a good, just a good mix of guys. And then you add a guy like Claude Giroux, who's played over 1,000 games, 1,000 points to kind of guide that ship while you have your young captain. So those guys are fun to watch as we flip over to Man Jose versus Florida. Talk about dust off the ambience here. Tylenol PM. This is going to be a little bit of a sleeper in South Florida. Holy jumping. San Jose is the worst team in the league, and it's just they might set records this year, for being one of the worst teams of all time. And I say that with all due respect. Their roster just ain't perfect. And, they're probably a couple injuries away from being, almost like an AHL team. Again, that's no disrespect. But
no disrespect.
They're trying to, I believe, what they call tank and maybe get the first, second pick and really build some. Because I believe in that Mike Greer. I think he's a great GM, good hockey mind. He was a guy that was well respected when he played, captain, played in Buffalo, former BU Terrier. So I think he has a lot of respect across the league. Just you got to suck before you get good. As Sam Reinhart.
Here's a nice save by Kakkonen, who usually lets in, if that's Kakkonen there, he usually lets in 8 goals a game. No disrespect. That was a great save right there as number 20 goes across the line. I don't even know. Who's a great player in this team who I love is Barabanov. He's just a weapon.
Yeah, he's got like hair down to his it's like the back of his skates, like his like skate tendon guard. You know what I mean? Like that guy, his flow is just always flapping in the wind. He's got a good salad.
We flip back over here to Buffalo, Ottawa. I kind of like how they did that. I did not want to see the first couple minutes of a San Jose game.
Yeah, as we go back to the Rust Belt here, Chippewa Street on the road. Wow, they tucked. Jeff Skinner, man.
I tell you what, man, when Jeff Skinner got that 9x9 with a no move, no trade, no talk about me clause, I talked a lot of shit, and he's making me eat my words. I mean, the Skin Daddy is just, he's back in 40 to 50 goal form right now.
It's insane because he's a guy that just truly resurrected his career with a team that he ultimately signed that ticket with. You don't normally see that. A lot of times it takes a trade, a buyout, something, significant to happen. But this guy just kind of blocked out all the noise, probably went back to, his figure skating regiment, right? Getting his Mohawk turns going and kind of just, blocked everything out and said, you know what, fuck you. Our team's getting a little better. And my game, it's back in, the form that when I signed this ticket, it deserves. It's crazy.
Yeah, I used to chirp him for personal reasons, just because something he did to my buddy on the ice. It wasn't a big deal, but I just hold a grudge because I think sometimes it's funny. But yeah, he had one last night, I believe. He had a nice one last night in tight as we go to the widescreen again. They're not flipping back the games fast enough. I don't want to sit here and complain all night, but you gotta be in and out. You gotta get in, get out.
No, we don't need to see Bucci chopping it up for 7 hours, just kind of watching all the games himself. Let's get to some action. Let's get some red zone kind of coverage as we go to commercial. Folks, stay with us here. Tuesday night, hockey night in Scottsdale. Trying this out, trying this frozen frenzy out. So far, the reviews, not bad. I think we need more action. I think they need to maybe stay and hold on to some games a little longer. But who the fuck am I to say I'm a guy sitting in a 2-bedroom condo in the middle of nowhere?
Hey, it's a hell of a condo, though. You got to give yourself credit.
So, who are we really to say? So, at commercial break, let's take some questions here, folks. What are you kind of seeing here? T. Spencer, if you're an older guy and you're married, you could just go out on the road and cheat on your old lady. Yeah, I guess you could. I mean, you leave the wedding room on the bedstand of the hotel and kind of just do whatever you want. Hey, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. Really great to see your support as always. We love chopping it up with you. Love getting in the mix. Trying something new tonight with this frozen face-off frenzy. So let us know what you think. Chirp at us. Ask some questions. We're talking everything, missionary, whatever you need. So 7 hours of commercial-free hockey. Ain't that the truth? I think there's probably been like 5 commercials since we've been watching, which was like, by the time we started this thing, it was 4:30. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. We'll stay with it. Hopefully they can kind of, steer this ship in the right direction.
Yeah, I feel the whole point of this was to not have commercials. That's the beauty of Red Zone. And just Chris Hampton is just flapping his lips for 8 hours straight. And I feel like right now there's just been way too many commercials. And I know they're trying to capitalize on everyone that's tuning in tonight, but let's get a fucking game on here,
Yeah, let's see some action. Let's see some power plays. Let's see, high grade chances, grade A's in the slot. Let's see maybe more toe picks like Mike Matheson going down and burning some rubber. Let's see some things that are, going on, some action, a big hit, maybe a fight. I don't know.
Chat, where are you guys checking in from? Can we get a location check on the chat? Just drop your actual full address and your social security number. We will get back to you.
Folks, let us know when you're tapping in from. Let us know what you want to talk about. And again, what a weekend in Grand Forks. We had a Joe Blacks. We had the live show. I believe there was somewhere just under 350 people there to come and see the Live in 5 pod and the Heat Daddy. It was an awesome time. We were able to do a couple interviews, some fan engagement. We had some chug-offs. Also, we want to know, we're looking to hit the road. So let us know where you'd like to see us. We're thinking Calgary, Buffalo. We got a couple different cities in the works, but get some buddies together, see where we can do this because we want to hit the road. We want to chop it up. We want to get on the, some live entertainment, go to a game, hang out with you guys. So let us know where you're tapping in from and ultimately where you'd like to see the boys hit the road up next.
Yeah, we're going to make it happen. I think Calgary is going to be a hit. And once again, they're going back to Bucci Girl sitting on the desk next to PK Subban and Mark Messier. And I was under the impression we were going to watch some hockey tonight, but it looks like we're just going to look at John Bucci Girl sitting on a table.
Bucci takes off and he does a semi jog over to the big screen. This is content that you live for, folks. What is going on right now?
Am I on acid?
Checking in live on this crispy fall night from beautiful Vegas of the North, Las Vegas, Manitoba.
Hell yeah.
Fella, where you at tonight? Over at Earl's on Main. I know I asked you last time. Where are we snapping it at? Joey's, Moxie's. Are we at home? Are we having a couple? What are we doing tonight, folks?
Dude, this is insane. Like, I hate to say, guys, I apologize, but I'm losing my mind. Turn on some fucking hockey. Holy shit.
It's not about you. Like, it's not about the ESPN crew that put this together. Like, let's see some hockey. Let's see a match. Let's see some action. I don't care what's going on live from Bristol, Connecticut. I really don't.
I do not care about this drone they have flying in to the control room. And yeah, it's great. You guys have a great facility. I know you guys had a ton of layoffs, so you guys, you're able to pay that rent. But let's fucking get some hockey on here. Like, what the fuck?
Let's get into Studio F. I mean, it looks like they're going literally into the handicap stall to see if some guy is taking a shit right now. Now, Bucci comes back to a different studio, Studio F, joined by Kevin Weeks. Shout out Weeksy, good dude. But what is going on right now?
There's games on right now. Like, there's a ton of games on. I got to tweet about this. Hold on.
I mean, they're literally making it about themselves, which, again, should never happen. The sport, there's nothing bigger than the sport. We should be watching hockey. We should be watching Bucci, who we can watch every night on SportsCenter. Again, no disrespect to Bucci, but we can see him every night as an anchor. Let's watch some goddamn hockey, folks.
I mean, turn on the fucking game. Like, what is going on? I'm about to rip my hair out right now. I mean, Jesus Christ. We get it. The NHL is brought to you by Enterprise. We get it. Marty Brodeur left a bunch of his cups in the Enterprise rent-a-car and nutted in it. Let's turn on some goddamn fucking hockey. Excuse my language stream, but I mean, Jesus Christ, they're showing.
Yeah, now we're watching a little bit of the A-Mat's highlights. We saw this goal before. He went short side bunk on Darcy Kemper where Mama hides the Percocets. What a great goal. Shout out Poppy, Scottsdale native. He might have 70 this year. We'll see.
Yeah.
But again, we've seen these highlights. We need to go to live action here, folks. I'm kind of at a loss for words right now. I'm not normally like that, but I don't even know what to say, Rob, because we're not watching what we need to be watching right
now. I just checked my phone. There's games on right now. Is anyone in the chat upset by this? Like, I'm livid.
Yeah, we're kind of just seeing some old highlights here from the same game. We saw this goal literally 15 minutes ago.
Marner Goat going crazy in the chat.
Yeah, DJ fella, I agree, man. Like, I don't know if they really thought this through of what they were kind of doing, but you know what? Let's stay with it here as we watch another highlight from 20 minutes ago. That was a Matheson toe pick. We've seen this.
What the hell are they doing?
They're going to show this Bolts goal next. Look at Matheson. That's nice to see that, though, just going down. It keeps the game honest.
I'm getting word now that the Frenzy isn't even available in Canada, which is just right in Gary's playbook as the NHL continues to show highlights while there's live games on.
Now we're going to see this goal we've seen 6 times already in the last probably 14 minutes. Boltsy scores. Nice goal, fella.
I mean, it's a pretty simple play, right? You just copy what the red zone does, you go from game to game.
Right. And even if there wasn't a crazy amount of action right now, say in the other games, you still cut to those games just to watch it, get a peek of it, exactly like red zone would do.
Yeah, like when no one's in the red zone, what do? They show Kirk Cousins throwing a pick. Actually, I don't even want to shit talk him because of last night, but
yeah, they'll show a nice drive or
they'll show Dak Prescott throwing a pick at the 50-yard line.
100%. Or T-Mobile running for 6, Tyrod.
Yeah. Shout out to T-Mobile.
One of the best to ever
get his lung punctured a couple of years ago when he was supposed to be the starter. All right. I guess they're tapping in now to the Dallas-Pittsburgh game. The game pretty much nobody wants to see, but I guess we'll take it. It's better than nothing, I guess. As Crosby cross-checks somebody down the ice in a slot.
Dallas-Pittsburgh, not at that zeros. 3:39 left in the first period. decent little knuckle puck there from Rope Hintz. He's a guy I think, speaking of guys that are a little bit underrated, maybe not even now that he is. I think he's a guy that could easily be a 40-goal guy, 50 assists, maybe even pushing 50 goals one day. I think he's that good. I think the way he can glide through the neutral zone really separates himself from a lot of different players. And he's a big body. He can play below the dots, below the goal line. He's a guy that can really get that cycle game going and kind of score any way you want off the rush in the corners. So be an interesting guy to see how he develops. I think Pete DeBoer is a really good coach for him. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Pete DeBoer's got a great system, also known as the DeBoer system. And I agree with you, Swish. I think he's a great player. I don't watch Dallas too much just because Tyler Seguin pisses me off because he spiked the bottle out of my hand back in Scottsdale 10 years ago. But other than that, they have a couple good players down there as ESPN tunes into the 0-0 Sharks and Florida game.
Sharks in Florida, folks. I can't believe every team is playing that. That's actually crazy. 32 in action, and we're still getting highlights of a game 15 minutes ago. It's like, what are we watching here? We've seen this goal 19 times. Like, what are we talking about?
I would hope that they have it. I mean, there's NHL hockey on, live games, and the frenzy is showing Bedard shoot the puck 5 feet above the crossbar in warm-ups because he can. Because it doesn't matter what he does in warm-ups. He's going to play well anyway.
It kind of sucks that now the NHL, they do, they got the $2,500 fine if you want to go no bucket warm up for guys. I believe that haven't been in the league for at least 3 years. So guys got grandfathered in that, have been in the league as veterans. But like a guy like Connor Bedard will never get to experience that no bucket warm up unless he wants to soak the fine every time. I mean, that was the best part about the National League, right? You go for the wheel skate, no bucket. Anytime I'd watch a game as a kid, I'm like, wow, that's nasty. You got the LA looks in the air. You're on the sheet. You're snapping it around. You're looking around the crowd. Maybe you got a couple of skunks in those stands and you're looking at them and maybe give a little wink. I don't know. Be the judge.
And they finally flip over to Tampa, Carolina here. I don't know if this is live. I assume it is, but it's so funny. Someone just commented on Twitter. They said, yeah, I bet they're going to start showing Bedard warm up. That was a couple of minutes ago, and they did. So there it is. Nick Paul, Braden Point pulls up, puts it into the corner for Kucherov.
The way Tampa Bay plays, man, it's just such a veteran group. Like it's unbelievable how well they know their system. I think when they're going, they're my favorite team to watch.
Yeah,
just how well, they're just so under control the whole time.
Well, John Cooper, he's got a law degree, and when you have a law degree and you went through law school, you kind of can look at the game a little bit differently. Just from I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but yeah, John Cooper has a really good system there. They have a good mix of vets. And, when Kucherov is not on the LTIR, they have a great team. And
shout out to John Cooper, too. Just a guy that he literally worked his way up from the North American Hockey League. Well, he started before that coaching high school hockey. He was a lawyer in Michigan, ultimately ended up taking a job as a high school coach, worked his way from the North American Hockey League to the USHL to the AHL, a.k.a. the Jungle, the show. And every level he went to, he won. It's just crazy to see, how well he's done. And, I mean, who wouldn't want to play for that guy? I've just heard he's a beauty. Lets the boys do kind of their thing on the road or maybe even at home. And he's, really puts a lot of onus on the players. And as a player, who doesn't appreciate a player's coach, my friend?
Yeah, I heard a story about how he was kind of conflicted between pursuing lawyer shit and his wife, or someone at the time was like, you should go for hockey. And he did it. And now he's in the show. He's got couple rings on his finger. You're gonna take the ring right off my finger. But yeah, he was a hell of a job.
He was a guy back in the day too. He coached the St. Louis Bandits of the North American Hockey League. One of his players on the team when they won that year, none other than Patty Maroon. So Patty Maroon, he took him, all the way back from those years, acquired him after St. Louis let him go, signs in Tampa because he needed the big rig for team chemistry, go along the wall in front of the net, and they win 2 mugs, and they almost won 3. So just cool how he's very loyal to his boys as well.
Yeah, definitely. You respect that. You respect a guy that's Ferda. I mean, if I'm a GM and I got to hire a coach, I'm basically sitting everybody down, 10, 20 minutes, have a glass of whiskey, and kind of just figure it out who's Ferda.
100%. You want to find a guy that's a whiskey drinker. And we were talking about that this weekend. You got to find a guy that doesn't drink milk, not beer, but whiskey. Who's a guy that'll have a couple brown ones with you? Oh, that was filth. See, this is the action we need right here.
Nasty.
Man, is he a good player? Yep. Rusty, sneaky good. Makes about 3 and a hook a year. He's very underpaid. He fits that mold of that team so well, up and down the wall, can play with Malkin, Crosby, whoever.
Yeah, that was textbook right there. Well, I kind of want to check out the replay. I don't know how that started into the zone, but
A nice little quick up by Crosby. He's a little, oh my God, that's just a nice touch play off the wall to Gensel, to Rust, in the back of the cage. How are you? No way you're stopping that if you're Ottinger. Over the shoulder.
Switch, how do you feel about that defenseman going down right there in his stomach?
I was never a guy that would want to leave my feet, and it's funny you say that because every coach I ever played for, whether it was my D coach, my head coach, whoever it was, would always be one way or the other with a D-man sliding. Like, oh yeah, you should always leave your feet on a 2-on-1, and somebody never leave your feet. So every year and every time there was rollover, depending on a system or a new organization, it was funny because a coach would always have their own opinion on that. And I never like to slide, man. Trust your stick, trust your feet. And I just think, there's a time to slide if you want, but like that, you just go down, you take yourself out of the play and you swing and miss with your stick. Now it's just an easy Catherine Tappan.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If a player has patience like an Adam Fox or like a Nylander or someone like that, and they outweight you and you go down, you slide, your trajectory, you're done. You're sliding into left center. And
you make a good point there. I think it needs to be situational too. You always got to know if a guy's on his forehand or if he's on his offside, who's coming down. Is that Kucherov or is that a fourth line mucker who, if I slide, his head's been buried since the blue line? You know what I mean? Like, if I know that's, so-and-so, not to try to throw a guy under the bus, but if I know that's Matt Martin versus Kucherov, okay, now I feel more comfortable with the slide.
Yeah, because I think you don't want that puck getting across.
No, never. It should never cross that plane of the middle of the cage, that middle bar on a 2-on-1. Keep it on one side. Let your goalie front that shot. I got the pass.
Yeah. As we flip over to Colorado, New York Islanders, and now ESPN is finally starting to figure it out here and flipping the games as we expected. As
God,
McCarr,
that was Bobby Orlake
just dicing through.
He literally diced
Nassau County.
He diced up that neutral zone trap like a fruit ninja. My God, was he flying through the middle? How does he just go through the middle of the ice 1-on-4 or 1-on-5? That is insane. That guy is so good. I guess it's 4-on-4, so they were playing a 1-3 there. He just goes through four guys like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Ryan Pulak in the mail. That's a guy with a sneaky bomb. He shoots at about 105 miles an hour. One of the hardest shots in the NHL. I wish one year he would make the All-Star game because I think he could win that. No problem.
Really?
Yes. He has a absolute piss missile. Former Brandon Wheat King, drafted in 2013, I believe 15th or 16th overall. Always been a good player.
Yeah, he's one of the ones that I haven't really paid attention to. I know he's a good player, but
he doesn't skate that well, but very smart. Again, unbelievable shot, and just knows how to play within himself. I think that's a big thing for defensemen is when you get too hot and you extend your shifts and you get out of things, you really open yourself up. We got 4-on-4 on the left side. We got a power play, Carolina, minute and 40 and counting. Carolina, man. Oh, I love Tony DeAngelo. I think he's so sick.
Yeah, and you know what? I know that this isn't a favorable opinion on the internet, but from multiple sources, Tony D is actually a great teammate.
Oh, yeah. Guys love him. Yep.
And people, they want to say, oh, what about when he headbutted, what's his face in the locker room? No, it was Gorgiev, I believe.
Oh, Gorgiev. Yeah, sorry.
Guys fight all the time on teams. It gets heated. It's practice. It's not just Tony DeAngelo scrapping during practice. There's other guys that do that.
I was on the ice when Robert Bortuzzo piss pumped Zach Sanford.
You were?
Yeah, I was on the sheet. Yeah, I was in that video. And, it was a big deal at the time, and it kind of divided the locker room between younger guys and older guys. But look what happened. They won a Stanley Cup, 6 months later. That shit happens all the time, man. Guys fight all the time, and it sucks for DeAngelo just because, he tweeted some political things that it gets blown out of proportion. But like you said, guys love him. I think he's a nasty player. To me, he's like an Allen Iverson on skates. He just is so silky. The way he can run a power play, his deception, and even just his ability to lug the mail up the ice. I think he reminds me of if AI was a hockey player, that's Tony D.
Oh, off the bar. Oh, Devin Levi. Oh, Chicky. That gets through.
Chicky with the goal. Friend of the show.
Yep, great guy. But yeah, I think I love Tony D'Angelo's I don't give a fuck attitude too.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter who he's playing against, when he's playing, what coast he's playing on, back to back, whatever the fuck. Like the guy's gonna be a competitor no matter what.
South Philly guy, right? Throws both ways. He's been in a Street Fighter 100. The guy, he's a guy that you want on your team because not only will he chuck outside the ring, I mean, he will chuck on the sheet too.
Yeah, I mean, you go to a steakhouse, you have a couple whiskeys, and someone kind of looks at you the wrong way, and
Right.
you need your boy to step in, and he's a type of guy that'll strangle a stranger for you, and that's what you want in your friends. Somebody
Yes, he
that's
is.
down to commit a felony for you in a steakhouse on a Tuesday night.
He is a loyal guy from what I've been told. And shout out to Tony D, man. I love watching that guy.
All right, and as we flip over to how about Mackenzie Blackwood just kind of getting another crack at it in San Jose after his career was really derailed by injury the past few years.
Yeah. And you know who, speaking of sneaky players, Carter Verhege, aka Verswaggy. That guy, he's pretty close to 40 goals last year. Maybe how many you have? 30 in a hook, something like that. Like, that's a guy you don't think of when you're like, wow, 30 goals, point a game player. They got him over from Tampa Bay for basically nothing just because they had cap casualties. But he's another guy that long time ago was drafted by Toronto, gets moved over to the Islanders system and never really made his way, and then gets a chance with Tampa Bay. And look at him now. I just think there's so many of those guys that are, replaceable between the American Hockey League and the NHL that people don't know about. And Verhege was one of those guys.
Yeah, and he's also a good guy in the playoffs too.
He's great. Oh, that was a sick guy.
How the hell did that get through?
You know what they say? Muffins count. Muffins count, folks. Johansson looks weird, number 12. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I guess Landeskog wears 92, so he can't wear that. But, yeah.
He does look weird in 12.
Well, I feel like he should be a higher number guy. Like, he should have went to, 82 or 90-something. I don't know.
Makar, just such a great play. Why did Sorokin go into that kind of I don't even know. It's not a butterfly or
he just lost an edge.
Yeah.
Yep. Lost his footing.
I don't know how guys even move around like that. It's insane.
That's crazy because that shot doesn't go in if it's full wood either,
Right.
It's a muffin and somehow just snakes by him.
Yeah, and to your point about Verhege, how cool would it be to be playing in Tampa on the west coast of Florida and you get traded and all you got to do is drive 4 hours east to Miami? It'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, you just load up the Sprinter. You got it all packed with all your shit. Maybe you got your skunk in there or whoever, and your dog, and all you're doing is taking a Sprinter van right across the Everglades and you're going right to Sunrise, Fort Lauderdale, the Miami area. Yeah, that's clean living right there.
All right, folks, we're in a commercial break yet again, and we got an Allen Iverson commercial here, but we're going to take any questions you have in the chat. We are watching the NHL Frozen Frenzy for the next couple hours here until we burn out. But, yeah, anything you want us to say, any comments, concerns, questions? Are you mad about something? Did your chick you walk into your chick's house and she was with another guy? Tell us what
jumps out of the closet like a goddamn magic show. Straight out of old school.
Power play you'd rather watch. Who you got for game 7? I got the D-backs because I would love to try to go to a game. I think it would be great to go to a playoff baseball game, especially the World Series.
Yeah, it'd be nasty. For sure, go backs. And I just think something in the water with the D-backs. Going to be hard to win at the bank, but in terms of, the hometown team here, especially reporting live from Hockey Night in Scottsdale, I would love to see the D-backs get it done because, again, what's better than World Series baseball?
Yeah, that kickoff.
Power play you'd rather watch, Devils or Avs? Right now, that is close because little Jizzy Jack Hughes is so filthy, but I think that 1-2 punch with Makar and McKinnon is tough to beat. Just the way that Makar, man, talk about Johnny Cash walking the line.
Little Jizzy.
Yeah, so he's just PK Subban. That's what he calls him, little Jizzy.
Oh, does he? Yeah. We're just in commercial, folks. But yeah, I think Frozen Frenzy. This is coming in from Trillion Murphy on Twitter. Frozen Frenzy needs Heat Daddy and Jay Swish on the mic. These guys have less energy than the Queen.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, listen, they're not coming up all jacked up on Dutch Bros coffee like us. I mean, we're for the people here, fella, right? We want to give it to them live. We want to give it to them uncut, but also some knowledgeable information that can be passed along or even just talked about.
Yeah, I'm kind of just going through the tweets here.
Tapping in from England. who we got from the EIHL this
Hell
year.
yeah.
Dude, that's so sick. Love that. Respect. You're staying up late. Man, I love I've had buddies play for the Cardiff Devils. I love them. I love that Belfast team. I've heard nothing but good things about both those spots. The old pub league fella.
Oh my God. He absolutely just stretches his nutsack across from coast to coast. Makes a save. And the Islanders.
Isn't it crazy that the Islanders got rid of Devin Taves for 2 second-round picks? And this guy is arguably a top 5 defenseman in the league. Yes, he plays with Cale Makar, but I mean, he's almost every rate as good as Cale Makar 5-on-5. Now, Makar, yes, better offensively, better on the power play, but in terms of 5-on-5 play, man, Taves is so good.
Yeah,
the way he closes and the way he can skate and defend skating forwards is insane.
Yeah, that is crazy. And Devon Taves also confirmed good guy. You know, I've only met him a handful of times real quick, but just seems like an absolute beauty. And, you know, this is a rare strategy by the Islanders, only having one shot on net 10 minutes through the game at home.
I love that little defenseman on the Islanders, Aho. He's like one of the only real skilled guys that can really move. Like he can stick handle inside a phone with his boots are really good.
Really?
I play with him in Bridgeport, and
they've
slowly worked him into the lineup. But you know, it's taken so long because Lou, he loves just the process, and he loves older guys. So he's finally starting to break in there, and he's a guy that I think is a really good middle defenseman, right, somewhere between 4, 5, 6, 7. I think he's a guy that can play in your third pair, but a little undersized, but can still play on a power play.
I'll have to keep an eye on that because as there is an absolute bomb from the point by Darlene deflected by Alex Tuck, and they're not going to show the replay.
Isn't it funny they were talking about Darlene might not be worth the coin? Man, that guy is so good.
Kid's so sick. I mean, his first year, and I'm not a big plus minus guy, but he was dash $1 million, but he was on a struggling Buffalo team in the middle of a rebuild, and I think he still had a crazy amount of points.
Yeah, he's 40 points as an 18-year-old. Come on.
But I mean, when you're 18, you're logging 25 minutes a night on average. Your first time playing the best league in the world,
you know how hard it is to play defense 2 versus forward. It's actually night and day, especially in this league. There's so many different things you have to learn how to defend the best players in the world, let alone just go out there and play wing. I mean, it's no disrespect to wingers. I'm a defensive guy, so I just know how hard it is to play defense at this level because I couldn't fucking do it.
No, I mean, that's why defensemen usually they take longer to develop. I mean, it's pretty rare to have an 18-year-old step in and log some serious minutes, or even a fucking 20, 22-year-old. You know what I mean? Guys, they're kind of like goalies, goalies. You don't see a goalie step in at 20 years old and dominate, really. I mean, a goalie's prime, I'd say, is late 20s, early 30s.
100%.
Same thing with defensemen. We flip over to the Buffalo Senators game as Chikrin sends it up the boards, intercepted over there by I don't know who that is. Wow, that somehow gets through. We have a kind of a barn burner going on in Buffalo, but they take a 5-1 lead. And there's Dave Hackstall.
Dave Hackstall. That was my coach at the University of North Dakota for 3 years, folks. What a beauty.
All right, as we have puck drop is underway in the great city of Detroit as Ben Chariot struggles with the puck but gets it deep, takes a hit to make a play. That's just hockey, folks. And what's going on here? The Kraken chip it out, chip it back in. Who's in there here? Is that Arizona State hockey alumni Joey
Dak all in? Wow. As Jake Wallman circles the back of the trapezoid, picks up the puck. Folks, live from Detroit. This is the late start on the East Coast. I believe they were playing at 8:30, if that makes sense. Yes, it is. I know I heard their coach today was kind of bitching about the start of the game, how late it was, especially on a weekday. You got kids, you got this and that going on. But hey, it's the frozen frenzy, Rob. You can't be bitching about it. Selling the game.
Yep. I actually didn't realize how late of a start that was on the East Coast.
Yeah. Normally those late starts usually are just out west because it's a Hockey Night in Canada game or it's a doubleheader. But yeah, for the East Coast to be starting at 8:30, that's a late start.
So we got Perron playing with I don't know who that is. Who is that?
That's Joe Veleno, wearing number 90.
Okay, it is Veleno. Okay.
Yeah, and then Sprong. So what is this? The third line then?
I kind of love that line. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's a lot of swag on that line, especially with DP and Sprong.
Ooh, short side.
Couple guys that just ripped the pill. Well, that was a nice play by Ghost. A backhand 1-2 pass. Oh,
Jesus. There it is. Yep, that's a goal. And we have a potential. How did that not go in?
it hit the middle bar. That was in.
Yeah, that went in.
No? Are they saying that? I thought that hit the camera on the middle of the net there.
I mean, dude, the cage is wide open. As the city of Detroit just cannot catch a break. First, no clean water. Now, guys on the doorstep with an open net and somehow misses. We got to take a look at that replay there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that didn't go in. Unless I'm still drunk, which I might be, but.
They would have blew it dead already, though.
How did that not go in? What did that hit? Did that hit post or did that hit his glove? I mean, I know I got a pair of fast shades on right now. I can't really see, but I mean, I like to think I trust my vision. Oh my God.
Good pace to this game.
Yeah, they're skating. I love DeBrincat going to Detroit. I think he's a guy that could put up 40 easily. I think he spikes Larkin's points up too significantly. Dylan Larkin already has 11 points in 6 games. He's a guy that could see if he stays healthy will set a career high, maybe a 90-point guy all in, 35 goals, 50 assists, pushing somewhere in there. So I'd like to monitor how Larkin does, throughout the year because that's a hot start, almost 2 points a game.
As we head over to an Islanders game, and the Islanders still with a very bold strategy of only having one shot on net halfway through the first, and here might be the second shot here by Ross Johnston, and that's not Ross Johnson.
Oh, Noah Dobson.
Noah Dobson scores.
No, did Cal Cluttertuck tip that? This guy's still going. What an absolute water bug of a human.
Another situation where we chirp somebody and they score. How many times? It's happened 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I know. Every time we say something, Cal Clutterbuck, dude, on the screws. He tipped that? Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. What a fucking play to shoot that puck for the blade if that's what he intended. You think?
Yeah, he's just shooting in the vicinity, maybe getting a little far pad. You got 2 guys going to that side of the net.
That was sick. Nothing you could do there if you're Gorgiev at all.
Nope.
All right, back to Buffalo putting a beat down on Ottawa. Ooh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Oh, my chicken wing on Chuck there. Oh, that's not good. Can't be losing your heart and soul. Speaking of a team that we wanted to make some noise going into the playoffs, that hopefully isn't bad for Kachuk because he does not look perfect there.
That's not good, man.
No, it's not.
That'll just linger, too, if you don't take care of it. Fuck.
Little AC joint separation. I don't know. That didn't look good, though. 32 teams in action tonight, folks. Again, this is the Frozen Frenzy, reporting live from Scottsdale, Arizona. Hockey night here on this Tuesday evening. Best Dave Hackstall story. Well, we're going to, maybe a commercial I'll tell one because I was actually just telling one the other night when we were doing our live show. But flipping over to Tampa Bay here, Carolina, the visiting team, 1-0 Tampa, 4:50 left in the second frame. Be interesting to see who, comes out of the East this year. There's a lot of good teams.
Yeah, there is. It's going to be, man, I mean, I couldn't even tell you, dude. I have no idea. I mean, I think Toronto could do it, but it's like,
right.
It's like, okay, so you're basically, by that, you're saying that Toronto can beat Carolina in 7?
Carolina in 7, which they could, but then you got teams like how about Florida? Like they're going to get healthy. They have Montour and a couple of guys out. So I don't know. And Tampa is always around. There's a lot of good teams. And you got New Jersey, obviously.
Rangers.
Strangers, they're kind of, I think they bluff a little bit, but Trouba's going to take at least 2 chins.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the Rangers, dude. I mean, it sucks because they have Shesterkin like in his prime.
I know. I just I hate to say it, I just don't think you can win with Panarin being your 1 seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you need a little bit more help there for him.
Like a gritty guy, like a Western Canada guy.
Yeah, or just like you see all these teams when they win, like they have like a big time center, or they, you know what I mean? They have like an elite bottom 6 and a really good defenseman. I don't know if they really have that. Who's their number 1 center? Is it Vinny Trocheck?
No. I mean, and then they have Hedel, but he's not a 1C.
Right. So, but I like Trocheck now more than I like Hedel. I mean, I guess I don't know.
It's just interesting because Panarin.
Oh, Mika's Zibanejad. Yeah, we're missing.
Oh, there was a
Yeah, but
Zibanejad.
see, to me, like he's good, but I don't know. Is he like a Mark Stone good? Is he a Jack Eichel good?
No.
Right? So it's hard to do. Is he a Steven Stamkos good?
No.
Exactly. You look at the last teams that have won.
I think whoever just got knocked down for the Kraken got elbowed right in the fucking head on the back check.
Yeah, he took one right to the chin there. He was down. Who was that?
I don't know.
Kyler Yamaferda.
Yamaferda. High stepping.
Yamaferda. Wearing 56 like he's a young Sergei Zubov. Like, you can't be wearing 56 like that.
No.
There's only a few guys I respect if you're wearing 56. One would be myself playing in the American Hockey League.
Yeah, I feel like you got to be a defenseman too.
Yeah. 56 is such a sick number. Oh, was that Fish on the chin, or who did he take out?
I kind of wish they would show more replay here.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. I kind of wish they would show more replays, Switch, so like I could see exactly what happened. Because
right. Oh, I love Sammy spin around Gerard. That guy is spinning like a top nonstop. It's a rolling, not a stopwatch. This should never stop. He is just buzzing around the sheet. A little 5-5 frame. Loves to do a little silhouette. I kind of like his game though. I just don't love it at playoff time, but he's pretty nasty. He's always been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be good if you're his size on the back end for like a cup contending team. You got to be the real deal.
Right. Real deal, James Neal.
Shout out to James Neal, friend of the show.
Nealer?
Yeah.
Yeah. What a legend.
Yeah.
Don't know him personally, but I just loved his game as always.
Yeah, beauties. He used to call the Springfield Thunderbirds when he was down there the Springfield Thunder Pigeons, and oh my God.
Oh my short side bunk, how are ya? Wow. He's in the game though, so you kind of figured that was gonna happen.
He is
split the D and went 1-on-4, and then he just does this.
What the fuck? Like, how does he move like that?
I don't know.
That was
a sneaky backhand too. Like, that's a Crosby like backhand.
Just flicks it upstairs. Like, Sorokin just has no idea. It looks like he just couldn't read it.
Yeah, I mean, just that ability to glide, that's crazy.
Did he get onside there?
Good stretch by Rantanen. Yeah, I think so. Drop that puck.
Man, my car is so good. Dude, where's my car?
Dude, where's my car? As we flip over back to the Tampa game, 1-0 still in this game. 2 minutes in the final frame. Looks like we got a goal here. Oh, Bear Boulet, legend of Syracuse, New York. How are you, fella? Radish with a nice pass there.
A lot of shots from the point tonight getting deflected. Wow, that building's rocking.
It is buzzing. That was a nice little dish by Radish, little slap pass. Yep. Brian Emblom, the same thing I just did.
Wow.
Oh
my God.
Slavin.
To get it back north like that at that angle, head up the whole way.
But Slavin normally very aware defensively. His stick fell on his hip, not on the ice. Again, very easy to say from the couch here, folks, but usually a guy that, is up for defensive defenseman of the year would have his stick on. And he just kind of got caught staring a little bit, mesmerized by what was going on, and Radish made a hell of a play. Back over to Dallas and Pittsburgh, live from the Steel City. Looks like we might get a goal here. 18 minutes and counting in the second frame. Little Shipburger in the corner. Oh, my God, the ref just took out – what did he take out Pavelski there? Jiminy. Folks, that is an icing in the Steel City, and they're snapping it back over to the studio.
Taking a break here to send out a tweet. Sorry, folks.
Folks, we got a tweet coming out, but right now, live from Scottsdale, 5:35 Pacific Standard. Folks, that's 8:35 on the West Coast or East Coast, sorry. A bunch of games going on, 32 teams playing tonight. That is 16 matches. Watching a little bit ESPN right now as they flip it over to Montreal and New Jersey. The visiting team. And this game is knotted up at 1. But yes, hockey night in Scottsdale here, Tuesday night, coming here right across the jaws, 16 games. We're going to talk until our voices fucking just go on us. So stay with us. Thanks for joining. And if you have any questions, please chirp us in the chat, Twitter, Twitch, whatever it is, YouTube. We'll try to get to all your questions. And yeah, enjoy the night, folks.
What a goal by McCarr, man. Holy shit.
He's so dirt.
So good, dude. You know, every time I've seen Montreal this year, they've played pretty good. Like, I haven't seen them play bad. Like,
yeah, that's what they're just saying. Like, this team they're pesky, man. I think Marty St. Louis has to be an unbelievable coach. I would say he's kind of similar to that new school coach and a John Cooper. Some of these guys that, are actually going to come into the room and actually talk to you, not just ice the fuck out of you and say, like, good morning, and then just walk away. He's a guy that I think can really relate to players, this day and age player, and a guy that, not only used the yellow synergy, but a guy that really, gets the game and can offer a lot to young players.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy that kind of broke the stigma of shorter players. Like, whenever you hear smaller player, Marty St. Louis was probably their favorite player growing up. He was that guy that paved the road. Yeah.
And especially a guy that didn't get a chance right out of the hopper either. Like, he played up and down with Calgary. He was playing in their American League team. They trade him to Tampa Bay, and his career, the trajectory of his career just takes off, and now he's a Hall of Fame player playing with Vinny LeCavier, winning a mug. So it's just, I think he's very relatable to, being counted out, being an underdog, being an NHL All-Star, being a Hall of Famer. He's played all these roles, worn all these different hats, and I think he really strives for building a young team. Great hire, I think, by Montreal and Kent Hughes, the GM there.
Yeah, and he's French.
And he's French. So he fits the mold. He can do a radio interview on RDS and no problem. He can snap it around.
Riley Smith and Malkin go to work here in Pittsburgh.
And that's Sagan. He's just on a nice ticket, eh? Like, for amount, he's been hurt and kind of, over the years just really battled the hip injuries, the back injuries. He's still through the thick of it, making 9.5 in Dallas. No state tax. Keep the change. Had actually a decent year last year. Good playoff when Pavelski went down there for a bit. Had to step in on the number 1 power play unit, but a guy that's definitely lost a step a little bit over the years, but can still play. I don't know to his market value, but
yeah. I mean, especially coming back from anything hip related in hockey is incredible.
Yeah,
you got to move your hips. You gotta fucking do crossovers.
Crossovers, high stepping, pumpernickeling those edges, anything you want. Folks, live from Scottsdale, Arizona. We are jumping over to the Avs Islander game. McCarr with that nasty little tuck on the backhand. Let's see what we got going here. Oh, my God. Pierre Engvall, the giraffe. Built like an Indy 500 car. Oh, my God. Matty Barzal. See, he's a guy we've talked about before. I think he's a 100-point guy if he's not playing in this old school system. I think he's so not underused there, but I just think maybe not the best fit for him in terms of their playing style. Yes, he's good there, but I just think if he was playing on a team that really pushed the envelope offensively, he could be really good and even break out further than what he's done to date in his career.
Yeah. Right you are. Completely agree. Right you are, Ken. Shout out to MXC.
Have you been to this new barn yet?
No, I actually haven't. I had an opportunity to go last year, but it conflicted with a Rangers game that I was going to.
Right.
So
you're gonna go to MSG over this place.
Yeah. So I actually do want to get down there. It's just haven't had an opportunity. Whenever I'm in the city for only a couple days at a time. So I usually like to go to MSG, get absolutely pickled. Stay somewhere on the east side there of Manhattan, and yeah.
Good little spot, Lower East Side, maybe all in on the screws. Have you been to the bar, the Canuck?
No,
I have not. I
need
to go.
The Canuck bar actually DM'd me and they said come through anytime. That's on the west side of Manhattan, I believe.
It is. Yep.
But yeah, they said drinks on them. Hey, maybe a good spot for a live show.
That's what I mean. I was thinking maybe the Canuck could be a great spot for a little live action. You should trip at them. We'll see what we can get going. But yeah, that's just a couple miles, I believe, southwest of the Garden, all in. That's not the West Garden, by the way, which is a great little facility if the folks have been there before and you know what I'm talking about. All rub, all tug. Anyways, back to you, Kenny.
Heyo. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. For all the New York City people out there that are listening to the show, head over down to the Canuck.
Yes.
I think it's Canadian owned, obviously called the Canuck, but I think
Yep.
the Canadian guy, yeah.
Yeah, Molson's are cold.
comment
I've
on
heard
my
it's a
part.
great spot, especially come playoff time. So maybe that's something we kind of sneak out and see if we can hunt down a few chins there, maybe around April as the weather gets nicer. But folks, the live show, yes, it was recorded. I heard the live feed was a little leggy, but we will be releasing that on, I believe, at least our platform. And if the Heat Daddy wants to release it on his,
Yep.
we will have that for us on Thursday available for all folks. You'll be able to watch that, listen to it. So it'll be good. It was a lot of fun. We were able to talk to Sioux hockey legend Tony Herkus, who was a guy that won a Stanley Cup in 1999 with the Dallas Stars, won a national championship at North Dakota in 1987. He was the Hobie Baker Award winner that year, had 115 points. So who's counting? Just talk about an unbelievable year. So maybe the best North Dakota Sioux hockey player of all time. I always say he is. It was great to catch up with him and then just chirp everyone else. So.
Yeah, as we are watching the Frozen Frenzy, which is in another commercial break. I mean, they've shown like barely any hockey. Like they had a good little streak there, but they're just not getting this down the way it's supposed to go.
I mean, they've been showing that Enterprise will pick you up ad more than they've been watching, showing actual games here. I actually haven't watched this kid play at all this year, this Adam Fantilli. So hopefully they show this game a little bit. It's always tough to watch a team. No disrespect to the Columbus Blue Jackets, but I feel like they're a team that doesn't get a whole lot of recognition, even when they're a decent club.
Yep.
Even and when times are tough, it seems like the NHL honestly kind of hides them out of the spotlight. So,
which is weird because Gary wants the NHL to thrive in cities like Columbus and Arizona and shit like that. But all right, as we flip over to the Dallas-Pittsburgh game, Dallas has 48 seconds remaining in the power play here. Let's see if they can tie this fucker up.
Little PP unit. I think this Graves is going to be a really good pickup for the Pens. Now, I don't know how and what the Pens are necessarily as in terms of a playoff team or what they can do, but I think he's a young enough piece with enough experience to really anchor that back end and replace a guy like Dumoulin as someone ranked the bar. Was that Lars Eller or was that Gensel?
Lars the cranium bucket Eller. That guy's wearing an absolute lacrosse helmet, but
yeah, he does. Yeah, that's an XL. Lars seems to be like a guy, if he was walking into a store like Lids, he'd be in like 8 3/4 fitted kind of hat, So we'll have to get confirmation per Darren on that one. But
good kill from the Penguins, who are leading the Stars 22-11 in shots, scores 1-0 here. We got the end of the first in San Jose, in Florida. And Delkovich.
My pizza by Delky.
Just an absolute cheeseburger.
Oh, Suter still playing, eh?
Still playing, drafted in 1968, avoided the World War II draft, and he is somehow still in the NHL. One of the most sneaky, dirty players in the NHL.
Yep, made it through the World War II draft, made it through Vietnam unscathed, and yeah, still snapping on the NHL ice. I believe that guy's played over 1,300 games, made about 120 bananas, so life ain't bad if you're number 20 for the Dallas Stars.
They're doing too much of this. Like, they're like promoting it too much and not showing the game. I know I'm being repetitive here, but show hockey.
Francis, how you doing out there, buddy? Yep, Frozen Frenzy. Just show the games, folks. We don't necessarily need the commentary. Gucci, I know you can't hear me, fellas, from ESPN all the way in Bristol, but if we're going to do it again, we need more action. Show some of the games. Show some more coverage. Less talking in the studio. We don't need that, baby.
I mean, they haven't showed certain games in so long. Like they haven't.
What's that Buffalo game at?
Or Toronto.
Or that Ottawa game. That Toronto game might be over, honestly, by now because that was going in the third period and it was 4 or 5-1. But Oh, what a tuck that was. That Robertson, man, it's crazy. Like you watch him play, and he's not very fast. He doesn't skate the best. He's obviously very smart, but he's a guy like how many goals did he have last year? Did he have
a
over 40?
lot. I don't think he had 50. Someone could chat. Can you double check
It was
that?
over 40, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
had like
that's what I thought.
40, 42, 43. But yeah, you're right. It is crazy. He does look like he plays professional Call of Duty for the FaZe Clan, and somehow he's an NHL hockey player. But no disrespect, like I'm on a couch and I have a terrible body, but he looks like an e-gamer. He kind of,
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's built almost like he's out of Silicon Valley or something, working at the Google offices, the HQ. But yeah, he's obviously making what he does, and we're here on the couch commentating on his game. So he's doing okay. I actually really like these Boston Bruins jerseys. We cut over to the United Center live from Chicago, Illinois on the west side. Connor Bedard faces off against David Pasternak and the NHL Bruins out of Boston. Chucky McAvoy, what a sick player. I know we talk about him a bunch, but these
friend of the show.
Yep, these friend of the program. These Boston Bruin jerseys, I'm a big fan. I must say, I really like them.
And just a quick baseball update. The Diamondbacks are winning 1-0. I don't know if that's updated, but they're winning.
What inning is that in?
I think it was the top of the third.
Let's go. It's a team of destiny, man.
Oh no, it's 1-1 now. Top of the third. My app did not upload.
As we cut over to Montreal from the Bell Center, Jack Hughes massaging the pill on the power play like it's a steak out of Japan. Just a nice little piece of Wagyu. I mean, this power play, they're going to be good, though. Once this Hughes figures it out up top, gets the 100 games under his belt, Hughes to Hughes, it's going to be nice to watch. I love Tuck Foley's game, too. Tyler Tuck Foley, wherever the guy goes, he's a shooting 20 goals, maybe 30.
Yeah.
He's bounced around a little bit, but he's always a piece that a team needs and seems to always be on a competitive team.
I think Toronto, I don't know. I think the Devils might have my favorite power play to watch strictly because of Bratton Hughes. Like they talk about two guys that snap it around and they're just so tight on their edges. They could just stick handle in a phone booth. They could skate in a phone booth. As Brady Tkachuk had his shoulders separated from his entire body about 20 minutes ago, but somehow he's back out there.
Hot pack and a perk right back on the ice. This guy's a warrior. He wasn't going to miss any time if it was anything serious, or who knows, he might have just thrown the K tape on. He's right back on the sheet. As Dylan Larkin streaks down on a breakaway, Joey DeCord out of ASU Stonewall Jackson's him. So,
and quick
Sun Devil.
Quick look at the chat. James says, "Let's go, boys! Appreciate it." Zikamo said, "Fly to New York for a live show and a Rangers game. Respect the hell out of it. We're gonna see what we could do." Does Jamie Benn eat pussy? I'm not sure. I remember something about that, but
Jamie Benn for sure mugs barn. Actually, who knows? He probably doesn't even need to. The guy's an absolute stallion.
There was like some weird rumor.
Yeah, I know. 6'4", throws both ways. Maybe he doesn't have to muck barn because he's got everything else going for him.
And
sick tats.
And Robertson had 46 last year. Sorry to cut you off there, Swish.
46. Yeah, I thought he was flirting right around 45, but wow. He's on the other side of 45. Jiminy. He's the guy that could get 50 this year.
Yeah, sick. I don't watch him enough to know, like, how does he do it? Like, is it mostly just?
I'm not sure either because I don't really watch a whole lot of Dallas Stars hockey. And again, that's not a team that's really on national TV until playoff time.
Yeah. I don't know, like, what his game is. Like, is he just letting it rip from? Is it one-timers? Is he doing it all? Is he?
Yeah, he's pretty cerebral. He's pretty methodical. He can score from like the top of the circle with no screen. He's got a great shot. I know that about him. Not a lot of guys can do that. Just rip the pill from the top of the circuit, no screen. Takes a special kind of twisted wrister to be able to do that. And he plays that left or that right flank on the power play, so he's able to take some one-timers, so he makes his money that way. And in front of the net, too, he's pretty good. So him and Pavelski have weird chemistry there. They're just really good together, and they're not the fastest, players.
Yeah, it's cool to see Pavelski, like, still good. Like, one of the all-time great American players. Do you think he's got to be one of the all-time great American players, no?
100%. I mean, he's over 400 goals. I believe he's maybe even closing on him 500. He's right there in terms of 1,000 points. Like, he's top at least 10, American greats of all time.
Yeah, he's a stud.
wonder if Duchesne brought his 6-string right to Dallas. You know, the guy loved to play the 6-string in Nashville.
Just loves playing guitar.
Just loved getting up on the stage on Broadway, and strumming it.
As we tune into Columbus and Anaheim getting underway a little late in the East Coast, Johnny Gaudreau flies over the blue line, gets it deep to somebody. They wrap it around to, I don't know who the hell that is. Cycles back.
Yeah, that's that big Swede. What's his name? I actually played against him with the Cleveland Monsters. Kevin something.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Costner.
Ooh.
Actually, you know who the Ducks have not looked too bad at the start of this year as well. Like they've been kind of semi buzzing. Like they're a little bit harder to play against. How about they were talking about this Leo Carlson, this 18-year-old kid that they just drafted? Oh, Kevin. Yep, I was way off on that one. Good talk. Stay hot. Anyways, the Ducks. Leo Carlson, they're putting him on a load management clock this year.
I just don't understand that. I mean, listen, I'm a guy that thinks there's too many games in the season. I think they need to lower it a little bit. But as a fan, I don't want to see it lowered. But if you're 18 years old and you're getting put on load management as a rookie, I've never seen that before. Don't you think that would hinder his development a little bit? Like, don't you want him out there?
Yeah, I just think he comes from the Swedish league. You play 50-odd games in that league. You're a young kid. You don't want to get him too worn down when he's susceptible to injury. So I think maybe in that sense, it kind of makes sense where, you take a game off after a back-to-back, or if it's been a long stretch of 3 and 4, maybe he slides out for a game and, gets a workout in and is able just to enjoy Newport Beach, have a couple beers before the game and really have fun. But I don't know. I think you kind of just have to monitor that as is and see where he's at. I don't think you can commit to some set schedule. Like he's 18 years old. He should be able to rebound pretty quickly. And he's a bigger kid too. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. They probably look at a guy like that Slavkovsky on this game we're watching with Montreal, and they see he was hurt a lot. He kind of hit a lot of lulls as an 18-year-old. So they probably look at that model, and a couple other kids are like, wow, if we can kind of manage this kid, we're not going to be very good in the short. Let's just, be smart with this.
Okay, so let's say you're on that team. If a rookie comes in, high draft pick, and it's well known on the team, in the organization, and publicly, hey, we're gonna give this kid load management because we want him to have a long career with us. Wouldn't that make you feel weird?
100%. I think it's so sports science specific now, where teams can just explain it to their veterans and they have no choice to be upset about it, right? Even 5-6 years ago, I'd be like, what the fuck, buddy? You need a day off. You're 18 years old. I'm 35. I have 1,000 games. I can't even get up in the morning. My wife has to put me in a wheelchair, and then we go down the elevator to the car. Some of these guys that were older literally couldn't walk, and it'd be amazing that they could even skate and practice that day. For now, it's just a different era. I think kids come in and the team just decides for them, and if you're a veteran, you're just you just roll with it.
I mean, it's a business decision. As Tyler
Tuck Foley.
Bang.
Tyler Tuck Foley, dude. It just seems like the puck goes often.
He's so sick.
Goes in more often than not for a guy like this, and he can score anyway. Goal shot. He beat the goalie clean right there. From where? Just
right, the high slot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just inside the circle.
Holy shit! I mean, that's a fucking rocket. No screen.
Yeah. You think he's going low blocker?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That was nice.
A little bit of a knuckler, but had a lot of heat on it.
Yeah. A little Johnny Sins on that nugget, a little jizz, but yeah, he just he looked like he was going to go far side. He just left the hands open last second. He snapped it low glove. That's a true pros pro right there. A guy that scored a bunch of goals.
Yeah, getting back to Leo Carlson situation real quick, I think it's obviously a business decision. I know why they're doing it, but in the locker room, I would just be like, all right, what if you're the guy that's sliding out for him and sliding in? I would just get annoyed.
For sure. Yeah, and especially with a guy that, as many GPs as he has played this year, that's what he's got career, right? It'd be he's coming out after game 16, and you're looking for some rest.
Yeah.
It's definitely a weird dynamic, but I think in a spot where they are not in any way in win now mode, they can just explain it to their guys, and that's is what it is.
Yeah, all right, we're gonna be underway here.
All right, we got some new blood here. A little Braden Shen versus Adam Lowry facing off. A couple Western boys, throw both ways. Heavy hockey.
Fuck hard.
Fuck hard. Good chins. Fucking hard and throwing both ways. Anything better than that? Winnipeg, one of the best rinks to play in, honestly.
Really? Just because the electricity or what?
Yeah, it's just so much fun. The ice feels smaller. The ice is harder. The fans are right on top. You got Moxies in the building. They have the beers that fill up from the bottom. It's unbelievable.
How do they fill up from the bottom?
It's crazy, dude. It's a magnet, so they would fill up from the bottom, so there's no foam. So you go and get a beer in Winnipeg at the MTS Center. I believe they have a new name now, but they would just like stick it in there. The magnet would go up, and then you take it off, and the magnet would fill it. So like you could essentially, if you wanted to, like chug your beer from the bottom of it.
What the fuck?
It was the sickest thing ever. Beers that fill from the bottom, throwing both with beers from the bottom.
So I'd have to make a trip there.
Yeah. And they were like the best beers ever because there was no foam.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like these Bruins jerseys. I think they look good. I didn't like them at first, but Shattenkirk on the Bruins is one of those guys I just forgot he's on the Bruins. Like, what a fucking career from him, by the way.
Yep. Former Boston Terrier coming back to where it all started. First round pick back in the day of the Colorado Avalanche. Played in St. Louis, played in New York, played in Tampa, Anaheim, and now finds his
Washington.
Yeah, Wash too at the deadline. Forgot about that. But he's a great pickup. Smart player, playing the power play, can play, your bottom pair now, but really smart, heady player that moves the puck. And just like an awesome guy in the locker room. Usually the team DJ sets up a lot of the nights out, willing to pay, put his card down. Guy you love to have in your room.
Shout out to Parker Rex saying it's a good night because we're streaming out here. We're just trying to give the people what they want. Do this once a week. Thanks to everyone that's a recurring guest in here. It's been pretty great. But yeah, the more we do this, we're just going to try to commentate as many games as we can. And obviously for the frenzy tonight, we're going to be on here talking hockey. You get professional hockey insight from Swish, from me. You get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of gobbledygook. But at the end of the day, I think we're outclassing ESPN when it comes to commentary. I think they're just shaking in their boots right now that we're going to take their job as we cut away from hockey and go back into the studio for no reason.
Yeah, let's get another enterprise ad here. Let's get that. But yeah, folks, just to kind of cap off what Bob Gucci was saying, a.k.a. the Heat Daddy, we're here for you. Chirp at us. Get us out in the comments. Kind of just let us know what you want to see, want to talk about. We're going to be giving it to you, in the most entertaining way we can. Put Bucci and those guys on mute. Listen to us. We'll get at you and ultimately answer a bunch of questions and whatever the hell else you want to hear, baby. ESPN has to give you guys Romo money. Hey, we're getting there, baby. Low and slow. So we're starting off with this, and we'll go from there. But again, we want to know where you want to see us for a live show. We plan on going on tour this year. We've done Grand Forks. We're trying to line up Calgary. We're in contract negotiations with a couple bars there. We're also thinking Buffalo. We're thinking places like New York City. So let us know. Maybe Minnesota. Get at us. Let us know where you want to see these. The fellas pop up. We're even thinking a place like Winnipeg would be good. Vegas of the North. It's near and dear to my heart, Las Vegas. So, folks, where are you at? What are you doing? What it is, baby. Buffalo would make for a greasy night, Costanza says. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine us on Chippewa Street. My God, look out. Bob Gucci would have his tarp off by no later than 10 a.m.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, I mean, the whole game plan, if we come to your city, is basically what we do is on game day, let's say it's a 7 p.m. start, 8 o'clock start. What we'll do is we'll do our best to hit a local bar, probably like one of the most popular bars, and basically just do a live show for an hour and a half, talk about the game, talk about the city, talk about chicks, talk about sports. And that's what the live show consists of. We have the audience come up, chug a beer. We have a flip cup competition. We're going to be giving away drink tokens. It's a good time. So, and then right after the live show, really what we do is just mix it up with the audience and then eventually go to the game. So I think on the schedule, as Swish said, we are in contract negotiations with a bar in Calgary. for a Hockey Night in Canada game, December 2nd. It will be the Flames playing the Canucks. And yeah, it would be great for people to stop by. We just did it in North Dakota. Really great turnout. And yeah, we're just going to talk hockey in the bar for an hour and then just fucking floor it. So yeah, that's the plan. If people are interested, holler at us and tell us what city you're in. As we're in another commercial break on the Frozen Frenzy, which has more commercials than hockey. Boys, come to Golden Road in Anaheim. Yeah, we're gonna try to go to everywhere, but we pretty much need to start with the biggest markets. To be honest, no disrespect to Anaheim. I would love to go to Southern California. I've never been there before, but Buffalo definitely on the list, no doubt about it. Never forget that Marshawn Lynch hit some bitch with his car on Chippewa. I did not know that.
Yeah, he did get a Dewey Cox. Yep, he had a Dewey. Dewey Cox. Yeah, Money Lynch took the screws of some poor girl, and yeah, ultimately I think wound up maybe even getting a little jail time. But don't quote me on that. I don't know if it was jail time. I know he's been in and out of the cell a couple times for various different things. I don't know if he got a Dewey Cox and some time with that one, but I'll have to look up my facts. But I do remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then, you just go to jail. As we're tapped in now to ESPN once again, back in the studio. Like, show some. These tweets are all bullshit. Someone just tweeted at Butchergoss and Weeks are like, "Oh, I can't even go to the bathroom. There's so much hockey on." What do you mean? There's been 19 commercials.
As the chat kind of goes to, they're just throwing around. I love how it just keep snapping ideas around. Come to the Peg live from Girls on Main. Man, I would love that. I love that bar. Kokanee's on ice. That's a great spot to tie one on. And it's close to the MTS, right? You can either walk there, maybe not in mid-January or February, but it's a short little ride, 4 or 5 minutes from the rink. And I'd also like to get to Chippewa Street. I love Buffalo, the Rust Belt. I think that's another good spot to, get the people of Toronto, Niagara area involved, let alone the people on the U.S. side. So we're in the works with a bar in Buffalo as well. That'll be a little bit further, probably into the 2024 year. But right now our focus is on Calgary, trying to make that happen.
Why are they not showing hockey, dude? This is pissing me off.
Because they're trying to pump their own tires right now.
I don't give a fuck what Chris King, the NHL executive VP Fart Hockey Ops, show the games. There's games on right now.
They're trying to promote themselves so much right now. I think they're trying to, ultimately compete with the TNT and show how they can do it differently. But guys, what the fans want to see, they want to see the action.
We're missing goals.
They want to see Bedard. We don't need to see Bucci and Weeksy talking to Kinger from the truck. Like, that's just not what we need here, folks.
Like San Jose just buried. They're not showing it. They should be showing every single fucking goal. Then they're just going to show the replay. But sorry to get on here and complain, everybody. But, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, we're just a couple of guys trying to watch some hockey. Serious.
Yeah, I mean, Kinger, we know what you're going to be doing. You're a producer fella, right? You're going to be showing what's going on. Let's actually show the game, though. We don't need to see you. Yeah, keep those eyes Tim peeled, Kinger.
Tim Peel coming on my show on Thursday.
Shout out Peeler. Another program.
And it will drop Monday. I am begging ESPN to get back to the action. Okay, now they're going to show a replay of 2 goals that they missed because we're in the studio looking at John Butchergross.
The former Devil, who talked, though, that Fabian Zetterberg. Oh, versus Swaggy. He was going to talk.
All right, thanks for the replays, ESPN. Appreciate that.
Everything I just said, we see.
Really, honestly, Swiss, you're making our job hard here. I mean, we're sitting here trying to narrate hockey, and we're just not watching hockey.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't want to be a negative, bring negative energy to this.
Right, negative Nancy.
But, yeah. I mean,
negative Nick. Negative Nico. Negative Norris.
Negative Nancy.
Folks, 5-1 all in the Buffalo Sabres game in Ottawa. Chicken with 1 goal tonight. He has 3 on the season. Tage Thompson finally gets on the board for his 2nd of the year. He was struggling the last couple of games, but good to see him back on the board. He's a guy that's a friend of the program, lives down in Arizona in the offseason. So good to see him on the board. Hopefully he can get somewhere close to 50 again. I believe he had 47 last year. But as we tap into Winnipeg at the Canadian Life Center, formerly known as the MTS Center. They got the Shark Club right in there. They got Moxies. This place fucks. Love a good game in Winnipeg. I love a good game in Winnipeg. There's always sneaky trim in the building. You know they're wearing jerseys. You know they're going to be loud. Usually, come playoff time, it's a whiteout. I just love this city. Shout out Winnipeg, Manitoba.
I wouldn't be surprised if the NHL cancels the whiteout game sooner due to social justice purposes. But
no kidding.
I can see that coming. But anyway, back to the game here. Winnipeg with 2 seconds remaining on the power play. That's going to expire. And Switch, it's pretty crazy to hear that you said Winnipeg is sneaky trim. I did not expect that. That's somewhere we definitely have to go.
100%. We need to pop into Winnipeg at least sometime in 2024, just after the new year here, get something lined up, because not only do they have unbelievable hockey fans, people that throw both ways and fuck hard, they drink whiskey up there. They have good trim. The girls are so fertile too. Like when we say fertile, like for the boys, like they're just cool people to hang out with. Like just unbelievable salt of the earth people in Toba. And I love Winnipeg. I always have been going up there since I was 15 years old. Spot we definitely need to hit.
Yeah. As Raquel misses the net by 20 feet and Dallas recovers the puck and up the wall and out.
Live from Steel City, folks, home of the Pamani Brothers sandwich. Again, that's a bunch of French fries, coleslaw, and random shit on a sandwich they do in Pittsburgh. As somebody taps one home, I believe that's Datnoff. Crazy guy like Datnoff, he kind of gets lost in all these teams, and every time he plays for Pete DeBoer, he just lights it up.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy when Vegas tried to trade him, but forgot he had a no trade. Like, what a slap in the face.
Yeah. He's a guy that like went to Montreal, couldn't really figure it out, gets back with Pete DeBoer in Dallas, and then like starts playing good right after the deadline last year into the playoffs. And I think he's had a decent start to the season. So it's funny how guys like just get so much confidence from one coach, for whatever reason it is, like the comfortability, the random just confidence. Maybe he plays a little more. Maybe he trusts him. His leash is longer. It's just funny how that works.
Yeah, that was just good, hard hockey by Dallas. Just getting the puck in the zone, get it towards the net. Guys doing their job. And we have a Blue Jackets power play goal. They're looking at the iPad. I don't know.
The cannon, dude. Like, that's something they just need to get rid of in Columbus. It sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be negative, but, like, if that's your goal horn, just a goddamn cannon going off, like, even if I was the home team, like, I would still be startled. Like, it sounds like I'm in World War III when you're on the sheet. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, especially with all the shootings that go on in America these days. Like, you kind of want to, like, take that away and let people enjoy the hockey game without hearing a gunshot.
Don't startle me, as I'm going back to the bench and I'm -3 on the night and I've heard 3 cannons. Like, come on, man.
What an absolute bomb that was. It beats Dostal clean. Jesus.
This missile as we send it back over to the island. 2-1 Colorado. McCarr with a nasty goal to take the lead. Dobson, not a bad little defenseman, pretty good. Maritime product out of, I believe, I don't know if he's out of Nova Scotia or PEI, but Maritime Canadian, pretty good little player. He's kind of come into his own the last few years. He's a 40-point guy, which is pretty good, on the island. Usually they are, those guys aren't putting up crazy numbers. Pretty good on the power play. I don't mind his game. He's a guy that definitely they're probably looking to take the next step, especially defensively.
Yeah, definitely. I got to pay more attention to him, honestly. The Islanders and Dallas, those just 2 teams. I have a couple like that. 2 teams I don't watch that much, but power play on the island here. As
Kyle Palmieri's still getting it done.
The beardless Kyle Palmieri just taking it straight to the hoop.
Yep, shoving it right up the hoop, and he's got to shave every day. He probably honestly has to shave twice a day for Lou. Like, that guy is as hairy as they come. Sometimes you look at his chest, and it's like his chest hair is touching his chin. I wonder if Lou makes him shave his chest hair, too, because that shows through his, his undergitch.
Now, does Taves, he kind of just gets lost. He backs up with the other guy and moves to the far post, and
see, to me,
opens up for him.
Yeah, but to me, he's playing that 2-on-1. McCarr gets up too high. He drifts too far to that dot. As you're playing that, normally on a PK, they always tell you, don't drift up too high on that dot. You're not going to be able to get back to that guy on the goal line. And that's what he kind of did. He allowed too much space, ultimately, for Palmieri to kind of come up, take like he's got a 2-on-1, and then stuff it home.
Yeah, I mean, good effort there. And I think, to be honest with you, Georgiev seems a little shaky. I'm not sure. I mean,
yeah, I think he's got to have that save, right? Because you're as you're tasing, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to give up the back post. But if you take this half of the cage and the card that's sucked up too high, well, I got to rely on you to make a save. Now, could have Taze pushed him out a little farther? Absolutely. But he was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there.
2-on-1 developing, and I don't know what happened there. We're in a triple box here. But the Lightning Hurricanes get picked back up here, and Carolina is blanked.
Connor Bedard. Let's see what he can do, folks. Hopefully they show that at least this whole power play. We don't need to be cut into the Enterprise intermission report.
Charlie Coyle just fucking bunnied Tyler Johnson while he had the puck.
Yeah, he's as strong as an ox, that guy.
EJHL veteran. Shout out to the South Shore Kings.
South Shore Kings, folks. If you don't know, don't go. This period is brought to you by Butter Golf. Folks, head over to butter.golf. Check out some golf and lifestyle apparel. And I believe the Heat Daddy just restocked his merch with the Rockstar Zone heater taking a clapper, tickling the ceiling out of the corner. That's my favorite image ever of hockey, Heat Daddy.
Hilarious.
Oh, Bedard. Oh, my bunk.
Connor?
Phil doing Jar Jar Binks.
I missed it. Fuck.
My God, did he have that thing cocked and ready to go off that turnover? Holy jump in the United Center. It's on his feet. Number 98 going through the chute, the choo-choo train. Hey, boys. Hey, fella. A couple knucks, eh? Just one absolute bunk.
He's tearing up the Bruins this year, huh? Gets his first goal against the Bruins in TD Garden, and now gets his second NHL goal against the Bruins.
I want to see how this developed because it was an absolute pizza. Oh, my Charlie Coyle. Put it on a platter, fella. Holy jumping.
Just a knee drop.
It was filth. That was Little Caesars hot and ready. $5 all in, right across your face. Hit it, fella.
Oh, my God. What a bomb.
That was hot and ready right up the middle. My God. Straight out of Detroit. Jiminy. That Bouchard, man, the way he's got a weird release when he takes a clapper, but it always gets through.
I actually like Bouchard.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I really like Tyson Barrie at the top of the key just because I'm biased, I think.
I love Tyson Barrie as a guy, too.
Yeah. Good dude. But I don't know. This Bouchard, he's good, right? He's the younger option. He's their marquee defenseman back there. So it makes sense why they had to move on from Bears. But shout out Tyson Barrie, man. The guy just snaps it.
Oh, this probably is going to come back. I mean, I can't see them. What? That's onside.
That's onside.
That's staying. I don't know why my. Charlie Coyle serving up an absolute calzone.
Charlie Coyle serving up an absolute Chicago deep dish pizza right in the middle of the ice. You got to love it. Just no look right on the backhand. Missed your center outlet. You're trying to go to Carlo in front of the net. Doesn't get there, and it's on Bedard's tape, and that Sherwood is tickling the rafters, and you knew it was in all the way. That might be off, folks. That sucks. Like this.
That is off. Yep.
This is the part of the game where I mean, unless you see it in real time, like, come on, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm old school though.
No, I agree. I think if the ref can't see it in real time on the replay, then it shouldn't count.
Maybe in playoffs, sure. Let's dust off the iPads. It's called Toronto, but I mean, I don't know. The reason why he has to move it that quickly though is Beecher just is chopping down a tree too. Like, that could be a slash on the hands. Like, so there's a play there.
All right. I got to take a quick tweet break right now.
Folks, we're getting the Twitter fingers going. Why are you wearing sunglasses inside? Are you watching a screen? Does it not make it harder? Dead Justice 99, that is a fucking great question and a valid point. You know what? Number one, because you always got to think you look cooler than you are. That's why I'm wearing the shades. I like that. I like how it just, it kind of just zones you in. Can I see the screen as well? Well, maybe not. That's a discussion. But in terms of sacrificing style for vision, I've never been a fan of it. Folks, we have a call on the ice. Oh my God. They take one away from Bedard. Like, come on. Give the kid his nugget.
I mean, this is exactly this is Gary Bettman's worst nightmare right now.
His cookie. Like, we're taking away goals from superstars. Come on. Hopefully he gets another one there. Yeah, you just hate to see it. I don't know. I mean, it's offside for sure. But again, like I said, like Beecher's coming in with a 2x4, hacking the shit out of Athanasiou, who it creates him to have to move the puck quicker than he wanted to, and ultimately ends up being offsides. So Charlie Coyle, dude, you got luck.
So lucky,
That
and
was
you're
a deep dish pizza up the middle.
I mean, you're almost making 5 in a hook a year. You just can't do that. I mean, it's a blind pass in your own zone. Why not just play that up the wall swish?
Yeah,
You know?
because he's trying to alleviate all the pressure. Every team plays against the wall, so whether they're above him or behind him, he knows that his center outlet is Carlo in front of the net. He just misses his mark, and when you miss your mark in the National League, that's what happens. Back of your net. So it's the right play. He just doesn't execute, and when you don't execute, it looks really bad. So
to me, I feel like, yeah, I mean, if you have the center swooping through the middle, and obviously it's the right play too, but like if your head is buried, and maybe he peaked before, I didn't really get a good chance, but like if your head is buried like that, and obviously as a pro, you got to be aware that Bedard's on the ice,
Yep.
I think it's just a tough play, but hey, he lucked out. Everything happens for a reason. As
Sammy Reinhart bangs
Sam
another
Reinhart,
one home.
Another good playoff player.
Another guy that sneaky doesn't make a ton of money. He makes a good sheet about 6.5, but he's also a guy that's going to get you 30 to 35 goals, which market value, you're playing under your worth there. So he's a great little player. Yeah. Again, another guy that doesn't skate great, just heady, very smart. And OEL with an absolute piss muscle. I always forget Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Was he
now in Fort Lickerdale?
He's on a 1 year, $2 million?
Yeah, 1 year, 2 bananas, and he's still getting his buyout money. So he's doing all right. But yeah, that was a good signing, especially for $2 million.
Yeah, I'd like to see how he performs in Florida with like a better team than he's been on, mixed with the less pressure.
Yeah,
like obviously he was with the Coyote.
Nico Hischier, the pride of Bern, Switzerland. Did Jizzy pass that?
I didn't see it.
He had to have. Yeah, I was gonna say Jizzy. I think he came around the net and just gave him a little dish.
But yeah, I like I was talking about. We could take a look here, and I'll shut up.
Yeah, brings a pill up the ice. Little center lane drive from Jesper Bratt. Hughes back to Bratt. Over to who was that? Oh, that's a nice pass by Hischier.
Hughes is so good, man. Jesus Christ.
These guys snap it, man. Oh, my God.
Dude, I've said it once. I'll say it again. I saw them play live in Vegas, and I couldn't fucking believe it. How well they were moving the puck and skating. I was like, this is fucking insane. I don't know if I just wasn't dialed into the Devils, but like, holy smokes.
Oh, my bunk. Oh, my God. I played with that kid when he was 18 years old. Wasn't perfect. Good to see him get one. Tarasenko, man. 1 year, 5 bananas. Yeah. He's looking for a long-term ticket. He's going to have a great year. He's going to stay in shape. Maybe stay a little bit less off the vodka. He's a guy I think that was a great pickup for Ottawa.
Yeah.
Sneaky get. Oh, my Tkachuk. Just absolutely buried Tucky's head there.
How is Tkachuk?
He's throwing his weight around.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Auto shed. AutoZone sheds Jones.
Two American. Tuck's American, right?
Oh, yeah. He's from just outside Rochester.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Chucking and ducking. Oh, my God. How are you? How's your left? How does that feel? How do you like me now?
Absolute Bernard Hopkins to the chin.
Jesus. That was a Southpaw McGraw right to the staples of the head. How's your burger? Bruins hot start. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how they perform on the stretch run, just with being pretty limited up the middle with their centers. I believe Zaka's playing first line now. He's a guy that's more so like a 2 or a 3C. I think they still need to go get a guy, and they have the defenseman to trade to get a center, or even they could trade a goalie, man.
Yeah, they could trade a goalie. I think last year was the right move to hang on to both of them. You needed a deep run out of both of your guys, or they expected a deep run. But yeah, I completely agree. And I can't, I like just getting back to that Tkachuk play as the ESPN brags about their frozen frenzy coverage again. I love the fact that Brady's willing to just stick up for himself right away. Let's just get this over with, and sets the tone for the team. And I think he's a good fit for captain, man. I think I like that, but that was a questionable hit by Tuck, but also I didn't see enough. Like I didn't see how that happened.
Yeah, I mean, Chucky first ran at him and like ran at his head, and as he was turned and faced the other way, Tucky kind of hit him with a little bit of a slew foot, and then Chuck was just like, it's auto shed, let's go. So, two guys willing to throw both ways. Chucky ultimately getting the better of him there on Tuck, but two American guys facing off, on a Tuesday night. I mean, that's the type of compete you're looking to see on both sides of the pill, especially in a game like 5-1 like it is. I mean, Tuck has no business doing that back to Kachuk, but he's like, fuck it. You know what? I'm not taking shit from you. Let's do it, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Name your dance partner. Let's go. Is there any way I can get your charger, Bob Gucci? I'm at 9% all in.
How long have we been going? An hour 44?
Hold on a sec.
Not including the 45 fucking minutes that.
Yeah. Pull the screws out of it.
Let's do this.
Folks throwing in a Dodge Charger. All in.
I trade Swayman. I trade Olmark. I trade McAvoy. I trade Packavoy. Yeah, that was a crazy comment by that guy back then. I still agree with the Bruins for hanging on, regardless of what happened last year. I still agree with the move to hang on to both of those guys. I think in the situation they were in, there was no reason to have the best NHL regular season in franchise history and feel the need to move one of those guys is just stupid. And I know it didn't turn out good in the playoffs for them, but yeah, I mean, maybe think about moving one of them this year. Obviously, I think Swayman's going to need to get paid soon, so depending on how he plays, but
yeah, he just signed that Teddy Bridgewater deal, just like a 2-year ticket or whatever it was, little bridge deal. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just sucks because Allmark was a little unhealthy down the stretch of the playoff run there, especially in Game 7 when they had to go to Swayman, and then you're like, shit, we probably need two willing combatants in goal. So I don't know who you dish there. Rizlik would be an option, even though I love his game. It just seems like they've kind of weeded him out of the mix over the years. As we go to Auli Mata. With a piss missile tipped by Joe Veleno in front of the cage. Detroit up 1-0 as we have just started the second period, and it is underway. I love their new goal song.
So sick.
I'm so sick. It's all the time. Like, this should never change.
Yeah, I gotta empty some cap space here, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, Chris Leak. Folks, we are live from Scottsdale, Arizona. Tuesday night, hockey night in Scottsdale, watching the Frozen Frenzy on ESPN. Coverage has been okay at best thus far. We're trying to stay with it, provide you some live commentary, chirping at you, getting off topic, whatever it is, but we want to thank and welcome everyone that has joined us. Again, comment, say whatever you want, chirp us. Let's talk hockey. Let's talk missionary. Let's talk whatever the hell you want to talk about. We are the People's Show. So tuning into Edmonton and Minnesota, little tip drill there with Rossi. Wow, okay. This line's playing pretty well as of late. Patty Maroon was a nice addition and a friend of the show. Shout out to the South County, Missouri native, Patty Maroon, roller hockey specialist. That guy, talk about stick handling in a phone booth. But Faber with a nice play, goes around the net, drags a bunch of guys, sucks them in, and they slide it over to, I believe that was Ryan Hartman on the right wall, and able to find Rossi right in front of the cage. A nice little shot tip. Great tip by the number 23 car on Minnesota. Folks, Edmonton's struggling early on in the season. McDusty now out for a couple weeks. We'll monitor that situation. But as we flip it over to the Honky Tonk Central, Smashville, right out of Nashville, Tennessee, we have the Vancouver Canucks versus the Nashville Predators. Let's see what's shaking here, Rob.
Yep. Fresh game on the way from chat. Let's go going here. What's everyone doing? We got 46 people in the chat, it looks like, which is actually pretty damn good.
46 live, folks. T. Spencer 85. We haven't talked much missionary yet. What do you have to say about that? Top 10 position, not my favorite, to be honest, but it's a classic, right? It's an American staple, as that fella who was in Talladega Nights says, to John Gerard when they're sitting at the pool table there, he's like, missionary, you're welcome. We gave it to you. So American as is, folks. Back to you, Kenny. Pulak dusting one off, little toe in, trying to get it through. 3-2 in this game, live from the Isles.
You love to see, I shit on the Islanders a lot, but you love to see the Islanders get going to give the good people of Long Island something to cheer about, something to fight about in the Papa John's across the street. Actually, that's Nassau Coliseum. Back in the day at Nassau Coliseum, tradition of mine would be going to Nassau Coliseum to see the Islanders play and just see all the Italian people named Anthony brawl in the Papa John's across the street from the arena. So that was a really good time I had when I was a kid out there.
Jimmy, Anthony, and Tony, right?
Yep. Wearing Timberland boots, flat bill New York Knicks hats.
Yep.
All driving Infiniti G35Xs.
Yep. The staple. Maybe even throwing a Nicky in there, Kenny, a couple of these names. Just the staple of Long Island and the good people of Long Island.
Yeah. Ottawa on the power play, somehow they came back 5-4, but ESPN's not really showing the game. So let's see how this happened. That's sick. Sick dish across the
Norris, nasty little player.
Sick.
But a year at the University of Michigan.
Man, what a line.
The young core here, man. They're up to something.
But then they bury again, which we didn't see.
Chucky fights. They get 2 goals, snapping it around. Are they going to tie this thing up?
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would play it live. What the fuck are they doing?
No, they're showing it 3 minutes later because, again, the frenzy does not like showing the actual games. They like talking.
They need to find a way to miss less goals. You know what I mean? Like, they got to find a way to, monitor the game, click back and forth, none of the studio shit. I know it's hard in hockey to, kind of...
For sure. Yeah, they got to have just nonstop action on just rolling, right? It seems like it takes them a while to kind of find it, and then they go to it, and then ultimately the game isn't live anymore, so people can check their app or whatever it is.
So somehow Ottawa has another power play.
They get another power play, and that's what a captain does. Down 5-1, you fight, and all of a sudden it's 5-4, and you have a chance to get back in this game. Maybe even squeeze out 1 or 2 points. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
What is Buffalo doing?
I don't know. I mean, that's tough. I mean, dude, Ottawa has fucking 38 shots. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
23. Maybe this game is not, it wasn't as lopsided as it maybe was perceived.
Look at how passionate the Ottawa crowd is. I love it. I hope they tie this thing up. So you got 2 minutes here on the power play. 35 seconds on the clock. They're going to pull the goalie. Rip and reels. What do you think the Oilers need to work on to fix the early slump? I don't know. I haven't watched enough, but also Jeff Skinner is rattled at something.
I mean, the Oilers, their goalies have a combined save percentage of 870 right now, so that's just not going to get it done. Right?
Yeah.
It always starts in the back of the cage.
Look at Jeff Skinner just absolutely losing his fucking mind.
He's going nuts. I wonder who he's talking to. Skinsy is choked. He's got his earpieces in, and he's ready to go.
Why'd they give me a no move, no trade?
Is he yelling at the ref or is he yelling at a player? It looks like he's yelling at the ref.
He is, yeah. Something about 3 minutes. Let's fucking go. I don't know what the hell that was about. That was fucking bizarre.
I always like when a guy freaks out on a ref because at the end of the day, there's nothing they're going to change or do about it. You're just wasting so much energy on an outcome that's never going to go your way. They have the Foot Locker jerseys on for a reason, guys. They're there to police the game, and it's how they view it. Nothing's going to change their opinion at that given moment. I honestly think they might tie this up. Oh, my God.
What happened there?
You got just caught in between passing it and shooting it. It was weird.
Oh, that's going to go in. No way. Oh, my God, Sanderson.
Sandy fella. That's tough. He feels shame for that one. I don't know what happened there. He got caught between Tomer gets another one. See, this is a game that kind of gets a kid like this going. He's such a streaky scorer, that Tage Thompson.
What was that? He tried to hold it up, but I think
he was going to shoot it, but at the last second, he picked up his head. He saw green, and it was down and big in the lane. And then ultimately, it was like, fuck, I got to pass this. But it was too late. He was already committed to the shot.
What a fucking empty net goal, too. That chip.
Yeah.
Look at this. How does that go in?
I mean, that's just a confident chip. like a 64-degree chip on the backside of the green. Jaden Schwartz, shout out Regina Sask, shout out Wilcox Sask. Why you ask? Former Notre Dame Hound, played in St. Louis, obviously Colorado College, Rice City, USHL. Always have loved his game, and he's a certified beauty.
He's always busting his ass, Jaden Schwartz. Like, he
Nuts.
works so hard.
Yeah. Guy that's been through a lot in his life, and he just still keeps going, baby. What a goal. That's a Jaden Schwartz goal right there.
Carolina getting blanked here in Tampa. I thought this game was going to kind of be a barn burner, but I guess not. I don't know what's going on. They didn't show enough of it, but they do have 30 shots. I mean, it looks like they're getting the rock to the net.
Nick Paul.
Nick Paul does it all.
Nick Paul, better call Saul. Ow. Nothing like scoring a goal and then jumping right into a fucking line brawl. Talk about,
fuck?
Oh my, Stammer's feeding that guy uppers. Who's he getting there? Whose chin is he tucking?
Got to be Sveshnikov. Or no, he's hurt.
Whose chin was that? Is that a D-man? Was that Slavin? Who's he got there? Oh my God, he's feeding him. Nothing getting like scored on -1 and they get your lunch fed to you.
Who is that?
Paper or plastic fella. How do you want this thing wrapped? Oh my God, then we're chucking him again. Who's 18?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, Jury. Oh, God.
Chris Jury's kid?
Well, you don't want to be
He's trying to body slam him.
Yeah, good thing. Just take him down because you're a young kid. That Jury got absolutely blown up last playoff. Remember that concussion he suffered in the playoff? He got just drilled against the wall. It's like, buddy, that's the last thing you'd be doing is chucking him.
How did that start? They need to show more. Oh, that was it? Oh, it was Shea they jumped?
I don't know. So he wanted Shea, and then Jury says, I'll take it. Shea, come on, man.
Jesus.
You're a vet. This kid's got, he's given up about 4 or 5 inches there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, respect, right?
Respect for sure. If you're willing to throw, good on you, right? Boys are going to love it. Going to go a long way in the room. Probably going to pay for a couple tabs. It's great. 5'11", 184. How would you rate the refs this year so far? I hate to get on the refs, especially early. And I haven't seen every single game, so I can't really comment on that. But, listen, these guys have a hard enough job as is. I think every year people get on them. Let's see how they are at playoff time. I thought last year in the playoffs they weren't as good as they could have been. But we'll see. I think that when it really counts and you go throughout the year and they have these meetings and they get their best guys set for playoff action, that's when you can really, grade them. And I thought last year maybe a little bit they kind of slipped, but we'll see. How does that go?
Mikheyev, just absolute heat-seeking missile.
He's got to have some. He's got to have a mid on that. No.
Yeah, definitely. No screen.
Yeah. No screen, no stylist. Tuck Foley.
He is so good, dude.
Tuck Foley, dude. Like, this guy is so good.
I look like that guy.
He had one mug weeks. He was a black case for the other. Fella. Tuck Foley, so sick.
So good.
One of my favorite players. Just so underrated. Ryan Johansson might have one of the worst tape jobs in the league, making 8 bananas a year, though. As we go over to the Isle, it is still 3-2 Islanders. Let's see if Colorado can maybe get one here. I believe they're on the power play. Yes. Minute 50 and counting. Folks, we're live from the island. Cale Makar massaging his way around the point.
Look at this power play, man.
Ooh, that was a John Beebe just right over the glove.
I can't believe the Islanders are winning this game after the start they just had. Like, I know it's hockey, but Jesus Christ, they came out of the gate like shit.
UBS Arena on a Tuesday night. How long do you think it takes? How long does it take to get from UBS Arena to like the middle of Manhattan?
25 minutes.
It's not bad. You take a train right there?
I think you can go up to
certain point.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. You go north on the island, hop on the train. But
yeah,
I think it would make more sense to just drive. I'd say about 25. No traffic.
All in.
Yeah.
We got Edmonton on the power play on the right side of the screen, playing Minnesota tonight. That is live from the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. 48 seconds and counting. No Connor McDavid tonight. I believe he's going to miss at least 1 to 2 weeks. I'm sure if it's a little bit longer than that, they're just kind of hiding that information because that would be devastating if he's out longer than that for this team, especially they're struggling as is. So,
what happened?
I believe it's an upper body injury. I don't know if it was shoulder related, but that's what I was hearing. I think they just need to get goaltending. I mean, it's hard, right? You got Stuart Skinner, who had a decent year last year, but the guy that they signed to the max deal, long term was Jack Campbell, 5x5 for Soupy. I think if he can kind of get back to, form that he was with in LA, they could really do some damage. But if you don't have goaltending, man, you got nothing. Like pitching, baseball. Speaking of that, can we get an update out of Game 7 at the bank? What do we got for a score there?
Let me look it up.
I'm hoping the Diamondbacks are winning, folks. Be unbelievable if the World Series came through Arizona.
My phone is just not working. Chat. Can someone please tell us the score of the Diamondbacks game? That'd be great. It looks from the Twitter account that they're doing something right, but my ESPN app won't load.
Folks, I am checking ESPN. Oh my God, we got 2-2 top of the 5th.
Holy shit.
Ducks on the pond, 2 outs. Let's see who's at the dish. Okay, I believe bottom of 5, so Philly. 2 outs, bottom of 5. We got Ducks on the pond. See that guy. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Okay, runner at first. Man, that's a tooth and nail right now. Talk about a barn burner over in Philadelphia. If they don't win, that city might riot tonight.
Yeah, that would be.
Want to be in Philadelphia tonight if they lose.
That would be insane. When do you think we should cut this short? I might want to catch that.
Yeah, I know. Fifth inning. I mean, whenever. I mean, we've been trying our hardest tonight. Oh my God, Marchman! Jesus. How's your chin? Chris Letang takes the screws to Mason Marchman. He's already got the tinted visor on, so he's had a couple concussions. How's your head, fella? Do you need an impact test? Or are you okay? Mush Marchman, he's a tough kid, so he'll be all right. I'm good whenever, bro. I think you've done a decent job tonight.
Yeah.
2 hours right now.
3-2 top of. Yeah, it's 2 hours, which is weird because usually, I mean, it feels longer because we had technical difficulties, but yeah, I mean, I think we did a good job. I think I expected more hockey.
Yeah, it was hard to really talk kind of what we wanted about and get into flow because they were bouncing around to commercials in the studio with meaningless stuff. And I think it's for them, it's trial and error. It's just been hard to kind of get a read on any sort of game and a feel, right?
Yeah. Also, it's hard to see it. You don't see the replays.
No, you don't see any.
So
of the
if you
replays.
miss something that happened, it's I didn't see what happened there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as a fan, I don't think I would even watch this moving forward. I'd rather just watch one game.
Yeah, me too. I mean? I agree with you.
I haven't really enjoyed it just even watching it. That's not to sound negative, but I think just even watching one game, there's way more action in it. It's a lot more fun. You can get a feel and just an overall vibe of the game. With this, it just seems like it's been really laggy and ultimately kind of just jumping around, just random things that are not the game.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's because I could watch a power play and see him snap around and score, and that's cool. But it's also seeing a highlight with no context to how the game is going at all. So it's kind of a little bit weird. But
right.
I mean, I appreciate the effort that they're doing here, the idea. But for me, I'm gonna have to agree. I think just watching a game is more entertaining.
Right.
Just because how hockey is. For example, the Islanders are down. Were they down 2 rip or 1 rip?
Yeah, they're down 2 rip.
They had 4 shots on net, and they flip back, and it's 3-2. It's I want to see how that happened.
Right.
I want to see the momentum of what happened.
Or even Ottawa just coming back late in that game where it's 5-1 and all of a sudden it's 5-4. I want to be able to see that, how that happened. Was there a bunch of power plays? Yes, we saw there was 2 or 3 power plays, but how did those happen? After Tkachuk fights, he really turns the momentum of the game, and they almost, sneak OT out of the game. So I don't know. I like the idea of them trying this. I really do. I think it's cool to have different ways hockey can be broadcasted. I just don't know if this is the answer. And if it is, there's probably some things they got to go back to the drawing board with. But again, who the fuck are we to say we're sitting on a couch in hockey night in Scottsdale, 2 dudes that just came off a 4-day bender, and who knows?
Where the hell is
Bo Byram gets on the board there. So we got Tide Hockey here on the island. Sorry, I'm having a tough time saying the island tonight. I'm not sure why. Yeah, Bo Byram walking down Main Street, Broadway and Main, just seeing eye wrister over Sorokin's shoulder. Great shot.
It's good to see a guy like him be healthy. Like he had a couple brutal conkies early on. Like he didn't know if he was going to play. I don't know if you read the article he wrote about.
I did, yeah.
Like pretty insane to be that young, that talented, and not know if you're going to be able to play the game you love and have a career.
Right.
So
you're okay. And a shot like that, Rob, like it's just, you don't have to shoot it 100 miles an hour. Like you take a little off it. I like to call it laying off it a little bit.
Yeah.
And he finds a part of the net that's open. He's in a little screen. He can't see it if I put it here. And that was a great shot. That was a prime example of that. As we go to the studio with Bucci and another Enterprise intermission report.
I think we're working harder than them.
We're
fucking commenting every single game nonstop. These guys are just talking about Enterprise, and
we're working way harder than them.
I wonder how much they're making.
Too much.
Yeah, I mean, there's an eye on all the games. Just I'm gonna be done. I don't want to be negative. I'm gonna be done ranting about it. It's late night. We're coming, like Swish said, we're coming off a 4-day fucking bender here. We got 2 hours on the chin.
Yep.
We're gonna have a comment. Too many games. Maybe it wasn't half the amount. You guys are great. Thank you for the positive feedback. I appreciate it. That's the YouTube comments in there. And Colorado is Colorado and doing what they do best. They're not going to let the game slip no matter if they fuck up and let a couple goals in. That's why they're cup champions, and that's why they're good. And Lambert is looking at the iPad like, how the hell?
Lane Lambert has to put at least a half can of Moose in each hand every time he steps on the bench because that shit is slicked back like a NASCAR pit stop. Oh, my God, is that thing greased up, ready to go. Shout out to Lane Lambert and whoever is doing his hair or recommending what products he put in, because I think he could go into a car wash and sit under those industrial-sized vents, and his hair wouldn't move. Like it's crazy the amount of suction he has on that mug and that head of lettuce.
Suction.
Thanks, fellas. Next week we'll be back. Maybe even we'll rip another one this week. Maybe Friday or something. But yeah, let's get dialed in. Let's get back on maybe one game. We love it though. We love the comments. We love people tuning in. Obviously, we're going to be doing this at least once a week, maybe twice. And as always, we're going to try to bring the heat. We're going to try to bring as much entertainment, much energy as we can. And yeah, fella.
All right. We calling it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks. Yeah, I don't have to say anything. You just covered it all. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Chat's been great. I like how I'm seeing people mixing it in on YouTube, which we didn't really do the couple first times. Twitch is popping. Thank you, Steiner. Appreciate it. George Costanza, T. Spence, Melissa, Rippin' Reels, James T, Parks and Rex. Yeah, it's been a good one. It's been a good one for what it is.
Folks, check out the Heat Daddies merch. Check out butter.golf. That's at butter.golf. We got some juicy apparel out there. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back either this week or next week live from Scottsdale for hockey night. Folks, have a great night. Thanks for coming in. We're going to pack up our shit here. And, yeah, it is what it is, baby. Go